Tony and Little Tony, and last time at the SCG it was Little Tony who stole the show. So Sydney, with everything to play for, trying to force their way into the finals for good. Away we go. Stafford goes up and taps it down. That man Fletcher got it to Burton. Burton's hand pass towards half forward is thumped forward. It runs inside the 50. Callaghan a half chance. Seymour missed him. McManus has got the run of it. Hand passes away to Fletcher. Fletcher pulls it back inside the 50. Lands in no man's land. Seymour took a nasty one. Punched it out of there. Grover, who punched it forward initially, applies a strong tackle. Kelly soccers off the ground out towards the wing. Now it's a race. Walker's got plenty of toe. Picks it up, confronted. Around Bolton, back towards half forward. Some indecision, but the mark is held by Grover. So the youngster, Rodney Grover from Subiaco, chips out wide. Clement, who's a long kick, sends it down towards full forward. Waterhouse and Burton Kemp to the back of the pack. It's knocked forward. Holland didn't have the ball. Play on's the call. Lewis comes away and spots it to O'Loughlin. Doc is a bit unlucky there. Stafford across half back. Long kick up towards the wing. Hangs in the air. In front Ship. Couldn't control it. Bolton dives on top of it. Ball stays in. And they'll have a ball up.
Yeah, a couple of important matchups in the forward line here for the Sydney Swans. Tony Lockett's been picked up by Trent Carroll. And James Clement is playing on the dangerous Michael O'Loughlin.
Ball up on the wing then. Just another terrific night for footy. Been blessed on these Saturday nights. I remember in the old days it was always raining at the Wacker on Saturday nights. Ship kicks inside the 50 in front. McManus paid the mark about 40 metres from goal.
Good mark by Sean McManus. He's enjoying just running around the half forward line. So he just held his spot in front. Nick's probably thought the ball was going to carry over the top and get his fist on it. But McManus just worked hard to keep himself in the contest and rewarded by getting his hands up onto the footy.
So the Dockers doing all the attacking to start. McManus kicks and kicks truly. Good start.
Well, it was a great start, Johnny, and as we know from last week's performance, it was absolutely shocking by the Fremantle Dockers. This start will certainly do the world of confidence for the Fremantle Dockers, and he just touched on McManus, a very important player. Missed a fair bit of football with those knee injuries, and he's got the ability certainly to go up in the midfield as well. Just very, very quickly, he is one player who's very, very important up in that forward line with Tony Modric back in the side as well.
First blood to the Dockers then. And that's the margin in the game. Sydney haven't been past the wing. Rucks go at it. Backhanded down by Stafford. Schwartz having a wonderful year. Kicks well inside the 50. Over the top. Kickett launched himself. Couldn't hang on to the one-hander. And how did he get the crumb? Came down and found it on the ground. Nice work by Kickett. A ton of possession right there and kicks it up towards the wing. Clement had the run of it initially. Holland a fingertip to it. Saddington. Stafford goes back. 3 Swans run on towards the square. Stafford held up initially. Spots them now. Chips it towards the pocket. And the mark is taken by Maxfield.
Well, that's a big danger for Fremantle. Dale Kickett just working extremely hard, running the ball a long way out of the back line, but his kick then didn't find a teammate, put them under pressure. Sydney just are a classic side of pouncing on those turnovers and moving the ball so quickly forward. They run hard. We saw that. 2 players finding plenty of space.
Maxfield 20 metres out. I think it's okay. It is. Scores a level.
A big turnover. Stafford just running hard forward. Plenty of space in front of Lockett. He took the mark. As you called it, Dennis, he was held up, but he still had time to get back and then find Maxfield, who'd run hard forward. We see here, look at the Sydney players streaming forward. See Schwartz running alongside. Maxfield streams past the other side. And he just had the options of those players running extremely hard forward. Fremantle are going to have to be really careful of those turnovers tonight.
McManus, then Maxfield getting the opening goals in this one. 16.5 minutes from quarter time. Stafford has to wait, directs it down. Cresswell, a kick-getting machine, kicks inside the 50. Kick it. He's in trouble now, dragged down. That's holding the ball. What was he thinking? Advantage is paid. Bolton across to Maxfield. This is bread and butter for him, or should have been. He's missed.
He obviously thought he just had that metres break, but Philander on his tail is very quick over the ground, and once he saw he had the opportunity, he pounced on Kickett, who's pretty sore. Yeah, obviously he jarred his ankle coming down, but no doubt he'll stay out there.
That centre bounce too, Johnny's very important today. I've seen the Swans the last couple of weeks, and Greg Stafford is back in brilliant touch. So a big job for Daniel Bandy and of course Spider Burton as well.
Rover once more, booted it up towards the wing. This is Lewis. Meters in the clear now. Usually uses the ball pretty well, and that's no exception. You give him that sort of space and time at your peril. Lockett's got it deep in the pocket.
That's a sensational kick, isn't it? And again, the turnovers that are going to come.
Lockett runs around and just misses.
Well, the turnovers that Sydney will just capitalise on with their brilliant midfield. We talk about Schwash and Creswell and Kelly, who run extremely hard. But guys like Maxfield will stream forward and find space as well. Fremantle, once they get possession, they've got to work extremely hard to hold on to it.
Parker in short. This is Fletcher. Back to Parker. Parker short to Black, right on the defensive 50. Across the ground he goes. They need to be careful. Fletcher back to Black. Taking a chance. Will it pay off? Black kicks it up to the wing. Missed out there by Kelly, who runs hard after it. Look at him work. Kelly almost came out backwards with a footy. Over the top of it, Saddington. In goes Grover. And a bounce on the wing.
A couple of important midfield matchups too. It looks like Prescott's running with Wayne Swass. Grosvenor, the young Grosvenor's got the job with Lewis, and Adrian Fletcher's been outstanding form for the Dockers in the centre, is playing on Darren Creswell.
It's going to get cool, as you can see, but 11 degrees now. Just nice. Norrish paddles it down towards half forward. Great to see him back. Crouch grabs it off his step. Kickett has to wait and earn it. He's taken the mark. Not the place to be pile driven. Pretty hard, that centre wicket area. Kickett swings it out wide. Norrish again. Little kick to half forward. Fletcher turning up everywhere. Goes by hand. Now Clement could almost get the distance from here. Kicks from 45. I think he tried. Waterhouse a big leap. It played against the post. It's out of bounds.
Not a bad kick by James Clement, but I'd still like to see him. He's either got to have a real shot at goal or bring it to the top of the goal square. In that situation there, even if Waterhouse marks it, he's right alongside the boundary line on the point post.
Boundary throw in. Stafford tries to angle it down behind. Dunkley knocks it forward. Trying to go through the pack down there. I think it's Matthews. Not sure though. He's got plenty of company.
Fremantle have concentrated, Dennis, on that work in close during the week. They want to be hard in close, and they're doing it very well early. What they've got to watch is when Sydney get possession and run hard forward. That's when they're going to have to be tough and run hard with those players.
There's the bounce. Burton at the last moment down to Callahan. High floating kick. Hasn't got the carry off. Hands are behind. Sydney lead by a point. Doubleheader Saturday night from the WACA ground. Welcome to our viewers around Australia. Sydney lead by a point, 1-2 to 1-1. 11 degrees. Balmy night, really. Kick back towards the middle. Fletcher, who started very well, thumps it down inside the 50. Prescott grabs it, hooks it back, almost got to Callahan, runs free at the back. Modra close to the boundary line. Nick's got him. Matthews in trouble. Seymour nicks hurriedly around the boundary line. Norrish against the flow, did nicely. Callahan turned into a dead end. Wolf got the Docker right there, and we'll have a ball up about 20 metres out.
Yeah, great tackle here by Rowan Wolf, a very important player in the half back line for the Sydney Swans. Missed a bit of footy this year, but started brilliantly for the Swans. He's got the job on the dangerous Clive Waterhouse, so it's a big arch there for Rowan Wolf, but equal to the task tonight. He's a very good player.
Bounce in the pocket then. Stafford tries to hook it back. Towards the boundary line goes Seymour, and it's out.
Dennis, I'll give you the Fremantle bench here. Taylor, Sinclair, Chris Bond, the captain's on the bench, and Clucas. And some news from down here. Dale Kickett has been given the job to cut off Tony Lockett's lead, the toughest job in footy.
Adrian Barrage on the boundary. Yes, they don't queue up for that one.
Good luck.
McManus has got a goal already, dragged down. Kelly the fumble. Schwass. Prescott got him. Bandy picks it up. Hand passes high in the air. This is Modra. About 25 metres out. Bends it back. Wide of the mark, though. Behind, scores a level. Maxfield has got the goal for Sydney. Fremantle got the first goal. Sydney answered quickly.
Yeah, I just thought with the two big ruckmen in, Johnny, maybe a Daniel Bandy or maybe even Spider Burton could be that option to drop back. We know quite well the Western Bulldogs do it brilliantly with Scotty Wine. Maybe the option could be the bigger fellas, and Dale Kicker's got a job anyway, playing on a player.
Sandington down towards half forward. Parker tried to mark at the back, always risky. Kick it to Walker. Bolton hurriedly. It bounces down towards the pocket. Clement did well. Angles the punch away and gets it across the line.
Then the Sydney bench. O'Connor, Feast, James and Kirk.
That's better. Virtually a sellout crowd tonight. Piece of history. Tony Lockett's last game here in Western Australia. As we said, it's the farewell tour. Luff falling to the ground, gets the hand pass away to Crouch across the body. Stafford launched himself at the back, off hands, it runs on and goes through for a minor score.
I just reckon tonight too, after last week's performance of the Fremantle Dockers, I just reckon a lot of players could be playing for their future. I know quite well, no doubt the coach said Damien Drum won't cop what happened last week, and I'm pretty sure a lot of players will be looked at very closely on tonight's performance.
Shane Parker with the footy. One of the most reliable Dockers goes to the pocket. Walker off his step. Prescott still inside the defensive 50. Now it gets tricky.
Go long.
Good talking, Dougie. There goes the high ball up towards the wing. Burton, who started inside the centre square of the opening bounce, takes the mark on his chest. Swings it out wide to accommodate Ship running down. Or is it Black? Black in the contest. Crouch over the top of him. And the ball up on the wing.
Just appears now, looks like Greg Stafford may be playing at centre half forward. He could be changing with Troy Luff, so that's a move by, Troy Luff. Troy Luff now has gone back to a half forward flank, but very unusual to see Stafford play at centre half forward. His opponent looks like Shane Parker.
Umpire Nash bounces the footy. Burton, clean possession. Hand passes wide. Schwass after it. Still going, taken front on by Holland. Jarred out of there. He was penalised. Advantages paid. Holland chips inside the 50 to Waterhouse. Within scoring range, Clive. Springing his step as he goes back. A kick from just inside the 50. Getting plenty of advice too. Not beyond him. Clive Waterhouse from right on the 50. Goldwood slides it across the face. Burton almost off his fingertips against the post.
Almost a grab by Spider Burton there, and he is going to have to work hard up and down the middle of the ground today. He does it pretty well, finds space, presents himself. If he can sneak up forward and run hard into that space, he could be a good option up forward for Fremantle.
Matthew Nix, good kick. Lewis at centre half back. Kicks up towards the centre circle for the marking power of Philandia. Comes to ground, bursting through is Maxfield. Maxfield, lovely kick. Lockett getting away from Carroll.
Just the last few weeks, Stewie Maxfield's form's been pretty ordinary for the Sydney Swans, and I'm just the opinion that when he plays well, I just reckon the Sydney Swans play very well. He gets on that left foot, and he's just a brilliant kick and a great finisher, and that kick was absolutely spot on.
And the thing is, he had plenty of time to have a look too, didn't he, Doug? He was running on his left foot, had a look up, gave Plugger the opportunity to make a dummy lead one way, then cut back into the big amount of space that we saw when he took the mark. Carroll nowhere to be seen.
Tony Lockett has got 22 goals here at the WACA ground. Chasing another one to lift the bar even higher. Bends it back. It's a goal. And that's the margin in it.
Pretty hard to stop when they get the ball that easily running forward. And that's the big thing. As soon as they take the ball across that centre line, on the run, they're going to be looking for Plugger. We'll just have a look at it here. Maxfield just grabbing it and just had that much time. Very hard to stop Plugger when he's got the option to make a dummy lead, then cut back. if there's a player putting that pressure on Maxfield right on his hammer, quite often he doesn't have a chance to have a look and then just bangs it long. Gives the backman more of a chance.
69 goals for the season now for Tony Lockett. He'll go out on top, no question about that. Side up by 6 points. Bucks go at it. Maybe Stafford into the path of Kelly. Breaking through to Lockett. Vintage football. Superb stuff out of the centre.
Oh, just brilliant play by the Swans. They continue where they left off last week at the Sydney Cricket Ground against Adelaide. The difference last week, the way they used the football, their skill level by foot and by hand was brilliant. And this is the man, Paul Kelly, who last week, as I touched on at the start of this game, was in the form which saw him in the Brownlow medal back in '96. He's just a great worker and a brilliant player. Distance
shouldn't be a problem. Question of accuracy. He's right in front. It's on its way. It's going right to left. Tight. I think he's missed. He has.
He looks pretty disappointed with that one. He's had a couple of shots. He's had his side. He's missed that fairly easy kick for Plugger.
So margin 7 points. Parker again. Weighing things up. Trying to hurry up. Eventually goes for distance. Long kick two towards the outer side. Plenty of Dockers. 3 of them up. Bolton to Schwartz. Well played to Creswell. Across the ground to Lewis. In space. Lewis away. 52 metres out. Long vacant square. It could bounce through. It carries the line. It's a goal.
Well, it's a bit of a worry the ease of which they got that goal. Not only that they put the pressure on Fremantle, but the fact that we have a look here, the Fremantle kicking, and Sydney have just got numbers behind the play. No Fremantle players pushing out outside that defensive 50 to put the pressure on, and Lewis been able to take it, run 10 metres with the ball, and then just bang it into an open goal square. As easy as you like, very disappointing from Fremantle.
Dockers got the opening goal. Sydney, the last 3. The margin is 13 points. Good bounce. Rucks go at it. Bandy hooks it down behind. Fletcher in trouble. Threw it on the boot. Bounces out towards the wing. Norris leads in the race. Coming up is Waterhouse. Drop bump on Crouch. Wharf meantime. Hard against the line. Keeps it in. Floating kick. Kelly has to go. Knocked away by Fletcher. Down in front. Crouch ran on. Philandia off balance. Got it to Creswell. Back it comes to Kelly. Creswell once more. Nicely done. Looks towards the middle. A couple of them there. Luff is in front. Fisted away by Parker. O'Loughlin is dangerous. Chips towards the pocket. Philandia's got it. Turns around. Wants to draw a man. Goes to Lockett. And Carroll fell over coming back. Lockett kicks a goal.
Dougie, what are you laughing at? You're getting the giggles up. It was
Johnny, the giggles, mate. You saw it too, Johnny. Yeah. You saw that. There was 3 Sydney Swans players who could have had a raffle out here, and
Creswell did it easily at the start.
Brilliant play, Creswell.
The Dockers players certainly trying to have a go there, but just no numbers. Sydney had numbers on the ground at that contest, and 3 numbers forward. Philandia just had any option there, run in, ended up giving it to the big mate in the goal square. Disappointing by Fremantle again.
So 70 for Plugger on the season now. 4-4-1-3. Alarm bell sounding already for the Dockers. Sydney in no mood to allow them to stay in the game as the ball comes down towards half forward in front. Luff on his chest. Wants to go. Well, the mark not guarded all that well. Luff down towards full forward, reaching over the top. Lockett, O'Loughlin, open goal. 5 for the game already.
Well, Worship, they're just getting absolutely flogged in the centre bounce at this stage of the game. Big Greg Stafford getting his hands on the ball. You got Creswell starting in the centre of the ground as well. You got Dale Lewis starting to get back in good touch. You got the skipper Paul Kelly, and Troy Lockett should have been held up a little bit better than he was allowed to play on. I think it was Shane Park. You got to hold the play a bit longer than that, and to give the forwards a chance to be one-on-one. And here's Michael Lockett, his typical Rover spot where you got to be. Easy goal to the Swans. Too easy.
Doesn't look good. Under 8 minutes till quarter time. Sydney getting a flying start. 5-4-1-3. Stafford goes up with the backhand. Burton at the second attempt. Schwartz knocks it wide. Runs after it. Goes with the right foot down towards half forward. Storming up the ground for Landia. Bounces obligingly for him across to Bolton. Not a good effort, but it ricochets off the Docker. Walker and goes across the line, and it bounds on the full. So nothing going right for the Dockers just for the moment. Bolton kicks inside the 50. Fletcher is there over the top of Creswell. Comes to Shipp, gets the hand pass away to Parker. Parker comes up towards midfield. Bandy has to go, and he does. 5 unanswered goals now to the Swans. Prescott, untidy hand pass. Saddington didn't appear to have the ball. Socket out towards the wing. Bandy recovers to Black. Over the top to Clement. Clement's on the wing. He kicks down towards half forward. Ill directed though. And Schwass goes up, takes the mark uncontested. Comes back towards the wing. Well, I think it was intended for O'Loughlin. Maxfield not to know that. Got in the road. The hand pass came across to Bandy from Clement. And now holding on, a free kick I think is going to Modra.
The umpires picked out the holding against Dunkley there. So Modra will take a shot, but just a couple of small things that you see happen. It was a great passage of play. Bandy made a good lead and took a strong mark from centre forward, but then just a lazy handball to Prescott messes up the good play. Then Heath Black gets possession between the wing and the boundary line, and then handballs out to the boundary when he's a left footer, swing inboard.
Good to see Modra back. He's kicked it behind already, may have 2 now. He's missed to the right, he has. They needed that one.
I think you're spot on, John. You've got to go more direct now, and when you go out wide, I saw wrestling on Friday night. Every time there's Wayne Swass coming off the ground for a bit of a breather now, and Brett Kirk, a very exciting young player, has got the ability to go forward. He's kicked 3 or 4 goals in the last couple of games for the Sydney Swans.
Next, a terrible kick in, and Black is marked right on the 50. It's a long kick, Heath Black. Waterhouse is free, ignores that. He's deep in the pocket. So Black now might go for distance.
May test him, Johnny, I think, from this distance, would it?
Yeah, I think it will, Dougie. Yeah, just trying to cover the ground. He's going to have to really put a lot into the kick.
Very static forward line. Black unloads. He's got the carry. Wide of the mark and behind.
God, umpire's lost his hat. Dougie, he's got one. He lost.
How about that, Johnny? He lost his hat.
Didn't lose his cool.
Nah. Wasn't a bad kick by young Heath Black. I just thought he may have struggled in the distance, but
he is a good kick, Doug, and that's why I'd like to see when he gets the ball, if he can spin inboard. He's going to be looking from where he was in the last position. He would have been looking for Modra. Instead, he handballed it out wide to Clement, who was only going to just kick it inside 50.
Nix again up the middle. That's a better effort. Stafford's in front. That's a strong mark. Plays on, threads the ball down towards half forward, and Bolton leading hard and aggressively, coming at the kicker. Jude Bolton towards centre half forward, and Kelly. You like his chances in there. Couldn't hang on. Callahan into trouble. Crashing through Maxfield, left it behind. In went Kelly. It spells wide. Grover went over the top with a hand pass. Held up in there is Schwass. Back on the ground very quickly. And we'll have a ball up left half forward for Sydney. We'll lead 34-11.
Looks like Bandy now has gone from centre half forward into the ruck. He must be changing centre half forward, a big Spider Burton, and his opponent will be Jason Saddington, who's playing centre half back on Spider Burton. Burton
slaps it down, hit Kelly, and ricochets across to Schwass. To Philandia. Was he taken high? No, play on's the call. Grover, the hand pass to Clement. Grover's seen plenty of the ball. A rookie making his debut off the rookie list as the kick comes from Clement down towards half forward. In front is Waterhouse, surrounded by Swans. Goes to McManus. He got the opening goal. A hand pass to Callahan. Stood up in the tackle. Prescott spots a man, Fletcher. And Fletcher's taken the mark. 40 metres out directly in front.
That's the difference, Dougie. We see McManus under a lot of pressure, elected to come back inboard, and it just opens up the play. If he had kept going boundary side, they had no option other than to kick to a leading player on the boundary line. Bring it back inboard. Players like Fletcher will run hard into those spaces.
Yeah, good vision, Prescott, wasn't it?
Adrian Fletcher has tugged it left behind. 1-6 now for the Fremantle Dockers.
That's where the Sydney Swans are very good, Johnny. They do feed the ball back inside and not scared to handball, back behind themselves either. So to set their play up, and so far tonight, the Sydney Swans' disposal is the same as they were last week. Absolutely fantastic. They use the ball beautifully. They do.
Great time of the season to be in form too. A lot of talent in the Sydney side. Nick short to the pocket. Kelly's got it. Kelly around the outer side, hugging the boundary line. Crouch took it low down, plays on immediately, runs away from half back, probing kick down towards half forward. Luff got a right hand to it. Coming through in defence and playing it pretty well was Fletcher. To kick it, takes a while, but does kick it. Inside the 50, Burton juggles the mark. In the last couple of minutes, the Dockers are looking better. Spider Burton from outside the 50 sets it up. Not a bad kick either. Spotted Bandy drifting in behind the defence. Daniel Bandy will kick it goal from about 35 metres out. Slight angle.
Yeah, just talking about turnovers here at the moment. We just saw Greg Stafford went forward. He was on his own at centre-half forward. If the Swans had got the ball could be on the other side, but now it's gone over to Daniel Bandy. He had a shot for goal.
Has he got the second for the Dockers? He has.
And they needed that one. Good goal. They peppered the goals in the last 5 minutes. They've worked hard to put the brakes on Sydney a little bit, which has been good to see. Daniel Bandy finishing off with the goal. But as you called it, Dougie, the Sydney players like Stafford, I'm sure Rodney Eade says take the punt, mate, run forward, because when you've got that loaded centre line with, as we see they're lining up now, Kelly and Creswell and Lewis, they're going to win more often than they don't. And Stafford can take that punt and run forward.
Yep.
12 goals on the season for Daniel Bandy. 5-4-2-6. So they break the sequence of Swans goals. Knocked down by Stafford. Bolton left it behind. This is Black getting busy. Goes with the right boot. Floats it still inside the centre square. Callaghan had it knocked away. Schwass over the ball. Still working. Callaghan comes back. Schwass drags it back in and is penalised, is he, for holding the ball? Well, that's a pretty tough call.
As soon as that ball scooped back in, the umpires are penalising players for holding it.
Prescott on the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Dunkley, great judgment, now pushing the back.
Well, I'm not sure there, Johnny.
No, he's a body player, Dougie. Dunkley is certainly a body player. Modra's very good at it as well, and he's feeling there for Dunkley. So I think Modra was off balance, but I don't know if it was because of the push.
It's a real John, the ball's got to be within 5 metres of the contest. I think the ball was, and I don't remember a lot in that one.
No, I think a bit lucky with that one. The umpire saw Modra get, fall forward, and then just assumes there was a push.
Tony Modra from right on the 50 gives it a ride. It's off to the right again. Had a bad day against Hawthorn going back 3 weeks. Kicked a string of behinds in that one. And he started badly tonight. All of them kickable. He's got 3 points.
Because one hamstring's a bit tighter than the other, Dennis. He hasn't realigned it.
Wheel alignment, you reckon?
Yeah, he hasn't quite got it realigned yet.
Well, he's kicked 3 points, and down the other end, you got Pluggers had 4 shots and kicked a 2-2. There's probably a bit of difference there.
There's Matthews in the back pocket. Driving it around the outer side. Stafford intent on knocking the ball his way. Holland to Black. Back it comes to Holland. Kicks across the ground, across the centre square. Kick it in space. Where will he go now? Not much on. Short to Callaghan. He's 65 metres from goal. Under 2 minutes till quarter time. The short one down towards Modra. Dunkley did well. Knocked it away towards the boundary. Callaghan crashes in, it spills and goes out of bounds. Clock stops at 1:45.
What the Swans do well too, we always see at the Sydney Cricket Ground, they do it everywhere they go. All their midfielders go deep inside 50 into the fence and make a very crowded defence and make it very hard for the opposition to get the ball quickly into their forward line.
Fletcher a hand pass. Prescott couldn't control it. It comes wide from Grover to Modra. Pulls it back towards the middle. An effective kick. Seymour was up to fist away. Met solidly was Bandy. Trying to crash his way through McManus and in turn Holland. It spills across to Fletcher. Hurriedly down towards full forward. Ricochets off the fist of Waterhouse. Modra runs it across the goal face. He's got 4 points now.
Well, we'll allow him that one. He had really had no option. Knew what he was trying to do. Steer it through. But it's a good pressure from Fremantle. They're starting to hit the ball a lot harder, stopping Sydney finding all that open space. And that's what they have to do. Make sure that Sydney don't get the chance to have a look up and look where they're going to deliver the ball running out of the Dockers forward line.
Certainly the Dockers' best patch so far in this game, Maxfield. He's got it short of half back. They need to guard against Sydney getting a late goal, of course. Sydney so adept at moving it quickly. Kick comes up towards the wing. Luff gave a contest. Parker's in there. Luff soccers it forward. Sydney 2-on-1. Cresswell goes back, nicely done to Wharf. Luff has run on. He's got the ball up towards left half forward. O'Connor coming through, almost collected his own man. The kick not good though. Getting back his ship, plays on immediately. Slides it across the goal face. Bandy has it now. Norris will need to stretch, and he does. No, well, he drops the mark. He stretched okay, got to it, but then it just bounced off his chest.
I tell you, Johnny, I'd like to look at some of the young guys for the Dockers at the moment. Young James Walker looks like he handles the ball beautifully, can kick the ball both sides of his body. And just so Andrew Shipp is a very talented mark, and the switcher player is very intelligent football by him as well.
Stafford picks up the loose ball, hand passes Goldwood. This is Walker, breaks a tackle, well played, got it away. Fletcher, looping hand pass. We're down to 25 seconds, still plenty of time. Kick it! Spears the pass into Tony Modra. And Modra, keen to mark his ground, will kick from just outside the 50.
And that quick movement of the footy stops what we call, Dougie, the Sydney players pushing back to try and block it up. If you can get it in there quickly like that, be direct with the football, it gives Modra plenty of space to lead into. And all it takes is a good kick to finish it off, and Dale Kickett certainly gave him that.
You think he'll kick this one, I think, John? I mean, he's kicked the 4 points, 2 more points, he's got his first goal.
Adrian Fletcher doing it again tonight. 11 possessions. There's the siren. 5 times this season, Fletcher over 30 with a top of 39 against the Eagles in round 16. And Modra finishes off his earlier good work. Fletcher got it to Kickett to Modra, and that time Tony Modra able to finish it off. 1-4 in the term for the champion full forward. Gives him 71 goals on the season.
I tell you what, they've had 11 scoring shots for Fremantle Dockers to Sydney only 9. Brilliant hands by this young fellow we talked about, James Walker. Quick hands across to, trying to work out that
Fletcher.
Fletcher was. Brilliant hands by him, and there's Kickett. When they go directly into their forward line, they're a different side, the Dockers, aren't they, Johnny?
Yeah, they are, and that's what they've got to do. Keep the pressure on Sydney and then run hard forward. Have confidence in themselves to run into that space. Run through the middle of the ground is always a bonus. We saw Fletcher just directed the ball straight through the centre of the ground where Kickett's been running hard from the back line, and he just finished off with a great kick to Modra, and Modra got the confidence one on the board.
Tony Lockett has bitted 2 goals. Damien Drum down quickly. Sydney need to be careful. They can't take any liberties here. 34-26.
He said, boys, we booted 5 in a row, and then you went to sleep, left your game. Den, back to you.
Thanks, Barrett. Trent Carroll with that unenviable job. Great crowd, good atmosphere tonight. A lot of people coming out, as I said earlier, to pay their respects to Tony Lockett. I suppose thinking the Dockers couldn't play any worse than they did last week. Start of the second term then. Sydney by 8 points. Burton clean possession. Hand passes out wide. Creswell battling there with Fletcher. Creswell hand passes to Schwass. Back it comes to Saddington. Saddington boots it down towards half forward. In front is Crouch. Tackled strongly. Thrown to the ground by Norris. A hand pass came from Kickett to Burton. Across to Black. Uses it well. This is Bandy. Bandy just forward of the wing. Back to Black. A natural left footer. So he's got some space. Pulls it back towards the middle. Stafford in best position. Uncontested, really. Not the spot for it.
Not on that occasion, no. He had Modra leading out wide at that time and kicked it right to where Stafford had dropped back.
Nix up from the back pocket. Thought about a switch. The eyes tell you that, but just for the moment. He'll come down the broadcast side. Puts the ball high in the air. Saddington moves up. Crouch the crumb. Gets it across to Kelly. The hurried kick bounces up towards the wing. Missed by Luff. Parker onto the loose ball. Gets the hand pass away. Holland in trouble. Stafford got him down. Got the hand pass though to Burton. Burton, interesting hand pass like a boundary throw in. Waterhouse was up. Couldn't hang on. Kelly going to the ground. Nix somehow got out of there and kicks it towards the outer side wing. Philandia storms up, takes the mark, plays on immediately, releasing Maxfield. Maxfield boots down towards half forward. Lewis did well, eyes only for the footy, plays on, unloads, spiral, difficult to mark. It goes down towards full forward. Carroll knocks it away, leads back in the race, closing as O'Loughlin. Does it stay in? I think so. Close to the line. Bandy in about 3 minds. Eventually hand passes over the top. Parker gets it away. Clement. The danger is past. Clement drives towards the outer side. Young Grover in from the side. Couldn't hang on. Recovers nicely to Fletcher, to Grover. The young man in his first game. Good kick down towards half forward. Going back with courage, Matthews. The crumbs to Nix. Nix gets it to Seymour, arches the back and slips away. This is Saddington, poor kick, goes directly to Grover. Back it comes to Callaghan. Callaghan hand passes towards the middle. Oh, brilliant pick up by Burton, gets it back towards support. Grover again, across to Holland. Holland gave it to Callaghan, tries to thread the needle and does. Waterhouse takes the mark in front of Wharf.
Beautifully caught, Dennis. Big spot of Burton there, Johnny. I mean,
What a
pick up for a big fella. It's brilliant. I just thought Over did the handball a couple of times. There's Big Spider.
Well, that makes a difference. If Spider doesn't pick that up cleanly, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
But he's done it brilliantly, worked it forward. Callaghan, a beautiful kick. Still wasn't easy for Waterhouse, and that's a great mark, running at full tilt.
I'm not sure about the Dale Lewis torpedo only about 2 minutes ago when he went forward. I think a drop pump would have been a better option.
So Waterhouse from 35 metres out. It's close. I think it's okay. He's got it.
Oh, you're spot on with that call about Dale Lewis. You've got Tony Lockett sitting down there waiting for it. All you really want to do is put it to some sort of advantage for him. Even if he's not on the lead, you can't get it right out in front. Put it to his advantage. A torpedo like that could go anywhere, so I'm sure Plugger will be having a little word to him. But Fremantle, just great work. They've just fought their way back in after Sydney looked like starting to really dominate them. And they've gutsed it out, which has been great. Put them in within 2 points.
Fine effort this by the Dockers. In trouble 5 goals to 1. They put it the last 3. Stafford goes up, directs it down to Creswell. Out of the centre towards half forward. Norris gets back, takes the mark, plays on immediately. Clement with some time. He's at right half back. Normally a good kick. He sends play up towards half forward. It's knocked away from Callaghan by Matthews. It's out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
I tell you what, Johnny, I just thought tonight after the big flogging the Dockers got last week, I just thought sometimes you play for survival, and I just thought maybe tonight they may just play for themselves, but I tell you, it's not the case. They are playing like a team, very committed to each other.
Stafford goes up over the top. Burton hooks it down. Cresswell getting busy. Hand passes out wide. Matthews tracks it close to the boundary line. Matthews can't keep it in. And a throw in.
Good work by Fremantle. They've really matched up that Sydney centre line that looked like running rampant and forcing the ball forward. They've closed them down and getting a fair bit of the footy themselves now. Fletcher up to 12 possessions.
Stafford tried for possession. Did pretty well to stifle a hand pass from McManus. Maxfield to Nix. Back it comes to Creswell. His 10th possession. Kicking towards half forward. And O'Loughlin. It was a good kick too. O'Loughlin. The meat and the sandwich there. Now advantage has been paid. Kelly's got the footy. We stay with O'Loughlin, who seems to be okay, although he's slowly getting to his feet. Meantime, Lockett's got the footy.
It was a pretty hard contest. All players seemed to have their eye on the ball. Walker just took his eyes off at the last moment. Kept his eyes on it, which was a good effort until that last split second, which then gave away the free kick. Sydney capitalised with the advantage rule, and again, Paul Kelly onto Tony Lockett. It's a great combination to watch.
So Lockett going at his 3rd right here, hoping to get the margin back to 8 points. 45-degree angle. Nice kick. 3 goals to Lockett.
Yeah, I just reckon the switch of play too at the moment. When the Sydney Swans do that, they normally kick the ball across the ground as to a player who can play on, and that's probably a bit of a difference sometimes with the Dockers. Sometimes when they do decide to switch the play, the second kick they can't play on. But there we see young James Walker putting his body on the line, fitting him at a crack there. Michael Loughlin, he's all right here, but there, I think you touched on, Johnny, the combination of the skipper there, Paul Kelly, 2 Brownlow medalists. That was a brilliant quick kick. Great vision by Paul Kelly to find the big fella. Lockett with 3 goals now.
So the Swans break the sequence of Docker goals. 6-4 plays 4-8. Just over 15 minutes till the major break. No breeze to speak of. Now we've got a centre square infringement. The Dockers will get a free kick. We'll come back to Burton. The umpires tonight, Ellis, Nash and Williams. That was Williams officiating. And now the kick from Burton inside the 50. Modra the big leap. Dunkley from behind got a fist on it, knocked it down in front, picked up by Ship, falling to the ground. As a result, the hand pass not effective. Norris, Prescott, they work it well. Walker put it across to Waterhouse. He's in trouble. Hand passes wide towards the wing. Stafford onto the loose ball. Now a chance for Lewis. What will he decide to kick this time? I think a goal. Well, no, not a very good effort. tried for the drop punt, but it was neither one thing nor the other, and it wandered offline low and bounced through for a behind.
I think when you see Plugger leading and you decide not to kick the ball to him because he's probably had 10 metres on his opponent, Trent Carroll, you've got to kick the goals, Dale Lewis. But anyway, he made that decision, but you must kick him.
I think that occurred to him. And as a result...
I think Plugger told him too, I think, Dennis.
There's Barker's kick in. Fletcher missed it. Plenty of Swans at the fall of the ball. Picked up by Luff. Hot hand pass across to Bolton, to Schwass. In trouble, Schwass. Real trouble. Comes to Crouch. Crouch gets a hand pass across to Luff. Off his step towards the middle. Philandia stopped it pretty well. Still he goes, Philandia. Inside the 50. Pulls it back towards the middle. In front, it bounces off the chest of Clement. Opportunity for Parker. Under pressure, he kicks it back towards the outer side wing. Matthews finessing with Callahan. Callahan played it pretty well. Kick it taken front on. Callahan emerges with a footy. Kicks it down to half forward. They've got a spare man, the Dockers. Fletcher kicks towards the lead from Modra. Well played by Dunkley. Got in front desperately there and stopped that attack. Maxfield, decidedly left-footed, slaps it towards the boundary. Seymour away too easily, kicks it up towards the wing. Ooh, Philandia met solidly by Fletcher. He'll get a free kick.
Great courage here by Peter Philandia. He's had 2 reconstructions. For a man of his size, it's just full credit to him to just keep coming back.
Cresswell and Kelly combine through the centre. Cresswell goes looking for O'Loughlin. Up he went. Carroll leads back in the race. Lockett bearing down. Lockett over the top, showing no mercy. The ball still a live one, about 25 metres out. Luff in trouble, comes back to Lockett, palms off Kickett, swats Callahan, hand passes back to the middle, over the top Clement defiantly punches it towards the boundary line, and that will do for the moment.
Fremantle really still maintaining that pressure on Sydney Plugger. He's nothing going to stop him there. Wasn't really that flash of handball, but I don't think Troy Luff will argue with him.
It's been thrown in. O'Loughlin knocked it to Cresswell. Across it comes to Philandia with time and space. 40 metres out. Goes for goal. It's offline and to behind.
Fremantle got to try and find some space here. The last kick in they had, Parker kicked out to Adrian Fletcher, who once the ball hit the ground was outnumbered by 3 Swans players. So I think he's really got to be aware of who's around the actual target he's kicking to.
Shane Parker, side down by 10 points. Comes broadcast side. Bandy took care of Stafford. Running onto the loose ball is Norris. Spears the pass into McManus to Bandy. Bandy's run on. Took all his time. He kicks it down towards the 50. Missed down there by Saddington. Knocked it across to the voice supplied by Crouch to Seymour. In trouble. Gets it back to Crouch. Crouch tumbles a kick down towards half forward. All Dockers. Parker. Plenty of time. Comes to kick it. Cruising past is Clement. Decided not to use him. Comes back to the middle. A risk involved there, but it was taken well by Black low down. Black. So a fair bit of the footy comes to Walker. Walker alongside the centre circle, probing kick to half forward. Well played, knocked down by Ship. Callahan. Now Taylor just introduced. Hand passes to Waterhouse. Waterhouse into Mines. Modra. I think it was over the line. Clive grabs his head.
Yeah, no left foot at all from Clive Waterhouse. Just didn't know what to do. Wasn't balanced. So he thought about it, but really didn't want to whack it on that left boot, and messed up the handball to Modra just a little bit too high.
Just thought too, Johnny Andrew Dunkley put a bit of pressure on Waterhouse. He wasn't going to come in. Right at that last minute he came forward, which got Clive Waterhouse in 2 minds, which certainly caused that mistake.
Running behind Wharf almost to mark. Spilt forward to be picked up there by Maxfield, who boots it up towards the wing. Walker, nicely done twice. Clement, time to settle. Too tall for Norwich. Backing him up as Kickett sold him deep into trouble. Cresswell stood his ground. Comes to Black, but the Dockers are playing pretty well. Norwich to the middle, finds Taylor. And Taylor is 60 metres from goal. Men on to the outer side. He goes in that direction. Modra from behind, missed it completely. Leading back is Nix, tackled by McManus. Ball jarred out of there. Modra kept it in. Picked up by Ship, pulls it back towards the middle. And Prescott has taken a tumbling mark right on the 50. playing with plenty of energy, the Dockers. Prescott heads for home, hasn't got the carry. Well, Modra, the big leap, and that should be a free kick to Dunkley, and it's going to be.
Just wondered maybe that kick may have travelled then. I just maybe looked like it could have, but no doubt the free kick was there. You can't put a hand on the back of your opponent there and then just touch the ball. Definitely a free kick.
Let off for the Swans. Dunkley to Feast just on the ground, missed it. Maxfield goes with the right foot up towards the wing, kept in by Bolton, nicely played to Feast. Oh, well done there by Taylor, I think it was, reaching around, knocking the ball towards the boundary. Or was it Kickett? It was Kickett.
Yeah. But Taylor's been good since he's come on, and very lively, and Philandia's been forced to go back to pick him up. So Sydney just having to shuffle things a little bit.
One down by the youngster, the first gamer, Grover. Creswell hand passes back towards the boundary line. Walker did well initially. Got it to Black. Black's high kick towards half-forward. Callaghan could have been held. It comes down to Holland. Gets it across to McManus. McManus slips it back to Callaghan. Callaghan long but wide of the target. Dunkley goes back. Not required a behind.
Got some good numbers around the footy, Dougie. Fremantle are running hard now and backing each other up. As you said, they're really playing for each other tonight.
They certainly are, John, and just some of the younger players have been pretty good tonight. I've been very impressed, as I mentioned before. James Walker, Brody Holland's done a little bit. Jess, haven't seen much of Jess Sinclair. Of course, he's on the bench, but he's a very important young player from Heath. Black's a bit of football, and young Grosvenor's pretty good too. So they've got some good young players, the Dockers.
And Schwartz driving it virtually up the middle. Lewis with Norrish. Loose ball at the back. It runs on about 15 metres. Kick it now. He's been good to Black. Black finding plenty of space and plenty of football. Goes to McManus. And McManus has taken the mark just inside the 50. The kick from virtually on the line. The margin currently at 8 points. The Dockers are down.
And we'll see McManus stopping to make sure that the umpire marks the right spot where he took the grab. But, you know, he's on marginal distance out. Sometimes you better get back quick and maybe you can find a forward on his own.
McManus then from 49 metres likes it off the boot.
Good kick.
It's a goal.
That's unless you're very confident in your kicking, Dougie, and you know you can go back and slot it through.
Well, I was going to say the same thing, John. Must have been. I saw Brody Holland go down the outside on the wing there. He's on his own, but you were dead right about Sean McManus. He just thought that I'll mark my mark here, and no problem with kicking the distance. And 45 metres out, nearly post high, so it's a terrific kick by him. He's been very lively up there for a line, and as well can go into the midfield. So good play by Sean McManus.
Sean McManus got the opening goal of tonight. He's got the most recent one as well. And we're back to 2 points now. Swans in front, but only just. Being made to work. The Dockers enjoying a good period in this match. Trying to crash his way through his Schwartz. Keeping it in front, hasn't got the foot. He should have got a free earlier. Now he gets one for a high tackle. Wayne Schwartz enjoying a wonderful season, averaging 27 possessions a game. In 94, when he won North Melbourne's best and fairest and came fourth in the Brownlow, he averaged 23. Alongside the centre circle, goes for distance, goes for Lockett. Lockett missed it. Norrish run down by Kelly. The ball is still in there. The umpire wants it about 25 metres out from Sydney's attacking goal.
What Rodney Eade did last week, he brought young Simon Feast into the ruck. Greg Stafford went forward and kicked 2 or 3 goals for Sydney Swans. He's going to do the same thing at the moment. Stafford's gone deep into the forward line for the Sydney Swans.
Lockett doing the rucking, knocks it wide, kick it, gathers it hard against the line, keeps it in. Feast goes back with courage. Coming up was Matthews to knock it down. Black the hand pass away to Parker. Parker kicks it around the outer side. Taylor leads back in the race. Holland coming up. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. He'll get the free kick, Brody Holland. Holland with the ball on the outer side wing. Indicates he wants to kick for distance. Waterhouse comes hard. Goes high. Couldn't complete the mark. Wharf left without it. Down goes Prescott. Grover. Saddington charged down brilliantly by Fletcher. In the grasp. Got the hand pass away. Right on the 50. Kirk got the hand pass to Luff. It comes across to Saddington. Now a chance for Wharf on the burst. Kicks it down towards half forward. What a good kick it was. Nicks the short pass. Great finish. Stafford's got the footy about 25 metres out, but Wharf's kick really the key ingredient there.
Yeah, just the change that you called, Dougie. No doubt Fremantle would have been aware that Stafford was going to go forward at some stage, but they still have to shuffle. Clements had to leave O'Loughlin to go on to Stafford, and Walker pick up O'Loughlin, so a couple of mismatches.
Greg Stafford has missed, I think, to the right.
So Clement's been doing a very good job on O'Loughlin.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, O'Loughlin's freed up. He's got young Walker on him. He'll lift in confidence. He'll want to get involved in the play more. And Clement's got a big job manning up on Stafford.
Probably giving away, in the old terms, only probably 5 or 6 inches. There's young Ship coming off the ground for a bit of treatment for a blood nose at this stage.
Just over 7 minutes till half-time.
Maybe Dunkley with the blood rule as well here.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's getting...
Not Dunkley, sorry. It's not Dunkley. It's
Matthews.
Matthews, sorry.
With the escort coming off the ground.
Maxfield is back on then.
Had a pretty good first quarter, Stuart Maxfield, I thought. He's had 7 kicks, 1 handball and kicked 1 goal. Very lively in the first quarter, but second quarter been a little bit quiet.
Yeah, matching up with Heath Black, he was early, and Heath Black's had a fair bit of the footies up to 14 possessions.
Shane Parker. Short to the pocket. Clement has it now. 43 plays 40. The margin was 8 points at quarter time the Swans' way. Clement goes for distance. A very high kick. Carroll, virtually uncontested, just drifting in, claiming the mark. Wants to go one way, then the other. The indecision cost him. Grover, though, makes amends. Chips it up towards half forward Callahan. Grover making an impressive debut. Waterhouse, 52 metres out. Man on the mark has to come back about 5. Clive Waterhouse, too far out to score, I'd say. Goes for distance for Rizzi. They'll contest about a metre out. That may have cleared the line. I think it did. Waterhouse from long range. Dockers in front.
Well, big kick by Clive Waterhouse. Last 2 goals of kick from McManus and Waterhouse have been very, very good kicks. He's kicked that from at least 55 metres out. And Modra just giving a contest meant that the Sydney players couldn't get a real good run at the ball, and it's just carried the line. So again, good team play by Fremantle, and courageous play for them to hang in there with Sydney and now get in front.
Waterhouse going for distance and getting there by less than a metre. Well, what about this situation? Sydney with a chance to wrap up their own future. Suddenly confronted by these upstart Dockers. Down to Fletcher, brilliantly done by Bandy. Fletcher's kicked to half forward. Seymour got a fist on it, runs forward. Lewis left it behind, backs back into the pack. Prescott battles after it. He's got the footy. He's got Clucas by the leg. The umpire wants the footy.
Doing a good job, Prescott, picking up Schwash. He's obviously just totally focused on keeping Schwash out of the game. Where's Schwash at, Dougie?
Schwash only had 8 possessions at this stage, and Prescott's had 7, so he's done a pretty reasonable job, Johnny.
Over the top, Fletcher, who's been terrific, dragged down by Crouch. Another whistle, another bounce.
I think you're right there, John. Just look at the midfield. I mean, the Sydney Swans absolutely dominated last week, but here we are. Fletcher's had 15 touches. We did touch on Heath Black. He's been very, very good. He's had 14 touches as well. Callahan's had 9, been pretty good as well.
And Daniel Bandy had 10 working through the ruck, which is a big first half for him.
Midfield's on top for the Dockers, I reckon, the Sydney Swans.
Well, a couple of clubs around the country watching this with interest. They will stay alive if the Dockers can cause an upset. Lewis, Schwartz, and now Cresswell is away. Looking for Lockett. Kickett gets back in the hole and does well.
Great courage by Kickett. The big fella was coming.
Callahan has it, left half back. Short. Prescott has it once more, plays on immediately. Not the best kick in the world, a high one down to half forward. Plenty of Swans there. Philandia, smallest man on the ground, stepped in, took the mark, raced off immediately, kicks inside the 50, loose ball at the back of the pack. Walker cruises across, chips and chips well. Grover up towards the wing, Anthony Grover. This is a good debut. Norwich has it now, goes looking for Waterhouse. He's booted a couple of goals, comes back to Taylor. Taylor 60 metres from goal, sees Modra on the lead, takes the bouncing ball nicely. Philandia runs on, Modra, hurried kick, floats it across the goal face. Seymour's got it. Maxfield is breaking. The hand pass comes back to Kelly initially. Kelly charges up the middle, goes to Wharf. Wharf knocked off the ball by Waterhouse. Sliding in there is Fletcher. Tackled by Kelly. Slapped out wide. Bandy comes back to the voice. Lewis saw it coming. Norris tries to slap it out. In the back is the call. Norris will get the free.
Oh, brilliant pressure here, Johnny. You love that back line, the way the forward line here just put enormous pressure on the Sydney Swans.
Yeah, we just seen the actual free kick there. Lewis's momentum just carrying Norwich forward. Pressure. But Clive Waterhouse, he's been great. He's this quarter he's really thrown his body in, and he's contested things in the air. He's taken a couple of marks himself. That time put the pressure on and then knocking the ball out into space.
Norwich spots a man to the other side of the ground. It's Bandy. Wise smile. Bandy's got the footy.
And he is working hard, Daniel Bandy. Both he and Spider Burton were covering a lot of ground, obviously out there to test Stafford, see if he could run with them.
Dockers lead it by 3 points. This to make it 9. It's off target. Big leap from Modra, all to no avail. So the margin is 4 points.
It looks like Stafford's gone back in the ruck here, John. We did touch on before he was playing down their forward line. Ryan O'Connor now is playing at centre half forward, picked up by James Clement. So the move's been made by Rodney Eade.
And Schwass has gone forward too. Hasn't been able to get much of the footy midfield. So Rodney Eade trying to push him forward. Tess Prescott out inside the defensive 50.
Maxfield drives it directly up the middle. Fletcher, big leap, couldn't hang on. It came back to him, dragged down immediately. Stafford recovered well. It was Dunkley who got him down. Meantime, it comes to Grover, slips it away. Kick it comes back to Grover. The young man kicks inside the 50. Seymour battles there with Modra, taken front on by Holland, dragged down. Umpire wants it.
That's the pressure that Freo have to put on, don't they, in their forward line, because once Sydney do get possession, as you said, Doug, they push their players down and then run hard forward. If Fremantle can lock it in there, they'll create scoring opportunities.
Just can't believe it's the same side from last week, the Fremantle Dockers. This is an amazing turnaround.
Waterhouse jumps high, takes it, gets it to Callahan, who snaps and kicks a goal.
So it's good to see Craig Callahan back out there getting a bit of the football. He's been such a good player for Fremantle over the years, coming in as such a young man, and really struggled this year. He's had bad shoulder injuries, but tonight he's starting to get a fair bit of the football again and using it well. He's a good hard player, and I'd love to see him coming on and really becoming a good strong player, consistent player for Fremantle again.
Well, 6 days is a long time in footy, obviously. 7-11 plays 6-7. Fremantle on top. Sydney looking to lock up a place in the finals and faltering. And you can just imagine those Brisbane Lions, they'd be hitting the remote, I think, against the wall, trying to adjust their set. This doesn't figure at all. The hand pass comes from Kelly. Leading back in the race. It's taken by Prescott. Run down from behind. Good work by Schwass. Then in turn O'Loughlin to Luff. Goes looking for Lockett. Well played by Carroll. Thumped it away. Press will hit the ball hard. Knocks it across the boundary line. And those Dockers love it. They come from everywhere.
A great contest. Really had to stretch to make the spoil on Plugger, and then just fired up too to make sure that Creswell knew he had to attack the footy hard because Carroll was coming at him.
Boundary throw in. Inside 3 minutes to half time. In front Bandy. O'Connor directs it down. Creswell. Hurried kick wide at the mark. Plugger's not happy, and the ball bounces through for a behind, seeking out a little contact.
Just a little bit agitated. The umpires just run over to have a bit of a word to Plugger.
Blood rule, I think, too. Yeah.
On his cheek, I think.
Well, obviously, that real desperate effort to spoil by Carroll has made some contact, and Plugger not really that happy about it. Too often I've seen Plugger leave the ground with the blood rule.
He'll come back pretty fired up, Busher, I think, to be fair to say.
If that doctor's got the needle out with some stitches waiting, he won't be really happy.
Good luck, Frank Carroll.
Even the emergency umpire wasn't taking long strides to go out and escort him off the ground. A couple of little ones met him halfway.
This young fella here, Dennis and Busher, I saw him last week, young Heath James. Great potential. I think he's the son of Max James, who played a bit of footy. He took some great marks last week and shows that he can certainly play a bit of football.
Max could certainly take a mark. His dad, 55 games for the Swans. He came across from Port Adelaide. Now Parker, clock running down to half time. It's a terrible kick. Well, as it turned out, Black had to go and he touched it across the line. That was good enough.
Dennis, just a cut under the eye for Tony Lockett, and very ginger, the doctor at the moment, just applying the treatment to Tony Lockett.
53 to 44, Bandy thumps it down. Nix has it, 51 metres from goal. They need a late goal, the Swans. O'Loughlin falling to the ground. Parker heads for the boundary line. He's got plenty of pace, Parker. Saddington stayed with him. Parker took it across the line before he kicked it. Well, who would have thought it? That is a full-blooded spoil, taking the body, the ball, the arms, anything, and running on. Terrific by Carroll. And this is the end result. Plugger sitting down, 3 goals to his name. Throwing in O'Connor, tries to backhand it down. Crouch was up, knocking it goalward. Schwartz camped over the footy. Going off the ground was Black. The bodies go in whirlingly. Nix trying to crash his way through Kelly. It's in there somewhere. Kelly hand passes it goalward. Saddington run down by Norrish. Clucas run down by James. Creswell in from the front. And the ball up less than 2 minutes from half-time. Creswell not happy.
Creswell just putting a bit of pressure on Clucas under the pack, and Clement pulling him off the top of the pack.
It frustrated Johnny, some of the Swans.
A little bit, yeah.
They are, no
terrific.
What was he doing? We've ruled out pulling his hair. 53 to 44. There's the bounce, 20 metres out then. Full credit to the Dockers. Now can Sydney meet the challenge? Bandy taps it down. Coming through is Kelly. Snaps, misses. The margin is 8 points.
Well, I think that's the difference with Fremantle. And when they're off the boil, I think Paul Kelly would have broken through there and been able to have a snap at goal without that pressure. But Fremantle players just desperate to make sure that they earn every snap at goal, every kick they get.
Number centres, Johnny, been great into the smothers, the tackles, the pressure they've applied. Even when the ball's gone inside their forward line, they've chased and put a lot of pressure on the Swans' back line. They've been terrific.
Parker driving it up the middle. Seymour drops the mark. The Swans making some errors now. Philandia dragged off it. Fletcher picks it up, slips it away. This is Black on the wing, barking the instructions as he goes. Kicks inside the 50. Modra was there. Dunkley got a timely fist on it. Schwartz, another fumble. Comes back to Maxfield. Advantage will be paid. Maxfield chips it wide. At left half back, this is Wharf. The clock is down to 1:10 as the kick goes out towards the wing. Up was Nix. Could have almost got a free. He's going to get one. Had a crude spoil from behind there by Clement. Matthew Nix. Sydney trail 45 to 53. A major upset is brewing. Probing kick inside the 50. Carroll from behind. All Sydney at the back. Here's a great chance for them. Luff mumbling, did you ever have one of those days? Terrible hand pass. Going after it, Lockett dragged off it. Black emerges with it. Kicks towards the boundary line. Skips past the runner, goes out of bounds. The moment lost for the Sydney Swans.
I just reckon Plugger should have let poor Kelly come through that stage. I mean, poor Kelly at ground level is a lot better than the big fella, Tony. Like, I know he's very keen to get back in the action, Johnny, but I just thought then let the skipper come through, because he's the sort of player who can do those sort of things.
Boundary throw in. Hand pass towards the line again from Clement. This is Black running out of space. Comes wider still to Walker. Norrish coming up to meet the ball is Clucas. Too slick there for Norrish, falling to the ground. Back to Clucas. They're working in a telephone box. Tapped towards the line by Seymour. It's out of bounds. And you can see that last shot we had of Lockett and Carroll. Just occurring to Carroll was that old adage about an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. There they are again. 22 seconds to go till half-time. 53-45. Schwartz smothered off the boot. Goes again. Picked up brilliantly by Fletcher. To Black, who's having a great turn. High kick towards the attacking 50. Going back is Wharf. McManus. Can the Dockers get a late goal? Kirk on one knee. Slips it away to Stafford. We're down to 3 seconds. Maxfield towards the middle. Won't see any more scoring. Rover's got it now. There's the siren for half-time. And Rodney Eade is cruising past us. And he is not a happy man. He is really steamed up, because an entire season now is at risk for the Sydney Swans. They kicked 5 goals to 1 in the opening 15 minutes of this game. They've been careless with their form, and suddenly some errors are starting to come into their game. So Damien Drum, he'd be content. At quarter time his side was down by 8 points, but they'd had 11 scoring shots. Lockett has booted 3 goals. He's been a force in this one. But the Dockers a real chance here.
Yeah, they certainly are, Dennis. And Johnny, I just thought maybe this could be a situation, you know, the Swans coming here just thinking it may happen. It's not going to happen for them.
A lot of work to do yet.
Saturday night football, 7-11, 6-9. I'm Sydney's way. Fremantle have turned that around. And Sydney needing a win to make sure of a place in the final 8. Win tonight and they'll play in the finals. But a bit of work to do. The underdog Dockers have taken the game right up to them and beyond. Stafford slaps it down. Ship gets a hand pass away. Black has been very good. Kicks it down towards half forward. From behind Callahan. Winning in the race is McManus. He's booted a couple of goals. Close to the line. Keeps it in. Still goes. Well played. Well shepherded by Clucas. Pulls it back towards the middle. Reaching over the top. Dunkley. What a terrific mark.
Yeah, great mark. Excellent play by McManus to keep that ball in. But Dunkley matched him. Sensational grab.
Canterbury's contender right there as Matthews goes around the outer side. Maxfield drives it up towards the wing. Big leap from behind McManus. The third man in line is claiming it. That's Lewis. But McManus is paid.
Yes,
and that's a terrific work. On the way down.
I think
Man in front, I think, John. That's the only reason why I think McManus got that one.
No doubt, and he was in front. Fair enough.
Drives towards centre half forward. Clive hit it hard. Ricocheted off his chest. In front, Maxfield. Kicks towards half forward. Lockett. A long way up the ground is marked 55 metres out.
It's a long time since I've seen Plugger
Outside 50.
not within kicking distance.
Yeah.
Well, he's going for distance. No, he miscues completely. It wanders down towards the pocket. Storming up the ground is Parker. Gathers the bouncing ball. Hard against the line. Heads for the line about 20 metres further afield. And finds it. Plugger off under the blood rule just before half time. That patch is gone now, but you can see that mouse under the left eye. 53 plays 45. Kenny Lockett, 71 goals on the season. Meantime, the Dockers work it forward. In front, Kirk couldn't control it. Callahan went to ground. Matthews in trouble. Knocked out of there by Callahan. Wolf goes after it. Nicely done. Cresswell kicks it back towards midfield. It bounces just wide of the centre circle. O'Loughlin comes up to meet it. Prescott tackled from behind by Schwass. Trying to crash his way through in uncharacteristic fashion. There was Clement. Very unorthodox. And I think he may have struck Schwass in the eye.
I think Schwass walked right into one.
O'Connor, clean possession, bullocking. And as far as Black to Norris to Black. Black towards half forward. Taylor in front out there. Nix controlled it brilliantly. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Now he takes off. He's on the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Grover, the first gamer, most impressive. Chips out wide. Cresswell got there. Dockers have got the numbers. Black to Walker. Short one is on to Norris. Awkward half volley. Nix again played it well. He's got a presence about him, Matthew Nix, but it comes back to Norris. On one knee. Got it to Carroll. Carroll goes wide looking for Bandy. Kirk comes up to meet him and the ball trickles across the line.
Dennis, Sydney were playing with 17 players there for a while because Ryan O'Connor had to come straight off the ground. Big poke in the eye, can't see, and they weren't ready for it.
And Schwass with some eye trouble as well. Boundary throw in from behind. Schwass, well, is okay now. He's realigned. He thumps it up towards the wing. Kelly couldn't control it. Back to Schwass. Bumped off it by Fletcher. Ship gets it away to Prescott. Hurried kick inside the 50. Waterhouse has taken the mark. And he's only about 45 metres from goal. You'd think he will get this distance if he goes for it.
You've got to play in front, no doubt here. And if you are a forward, you've got to be in front. And Clyde Waterhouse was rewarded on that occasion. And the distance wouldn't be a problem. We've seen him kick a couple of goals from this distance, so no danger there.
His best effort at the Wacker, 4 goals. He kicks from right on the 50, going at his third. Gun barrel straight.
Well, when he's got his confidence up, he is an excellent player, Clive Waterhouse. He's one player who can really be the difference towards Fremantle kicking a winning score or not. Not only in his own efforts on the scoreboard, but in his presence across that half-forward line, going for his marks, getting himself involved in the play. That's what it's all about as a half-forward. It's easy to get lost down there, Dougie, and drift out of the game. When he keeps himself in there, he's very dangerous.
8-11, 6-9. And what if the Dockers were to win this one? It sets up a grandstand finish next week. But first things first. The Swans need the next goal. Bandy taps it down. Schwass missed it. Bandy tries to slap it out. Kelly at close quarters. Schwass taken down by Norrish. Ship bumped off it by Crouch. Flicks it back. Fletcher, so busy early, set the tone. Under pressure, kicks it high down towards half forward. From behind, Seymour showed the better judgment. Knocked it out towards the boundary. Over the ball is McManus. Sliding in there was Kirk. McManus hit it back towards the middle. Schwass soccers off the ground. Missed by Philandia. In goes Kelly, surrounded by Dockers. Ran into a dead end. Taken down immediately. And we'll have a ball up on the wing. Lucas got him.
It looks like Jared Crouch now has got the job on Adrian Fletcher. Fletcher's had 20 touches so far in this game and been a very good player. Creswell's been moved off Fletcher, and young James Walker has the job on Creswell.
Dockers runner sent packing. Bounce on the wing then. And the margin is out to 14 points. Luff and Bandy rolls off Luff's head. Schwass wrenches it away from the Docker. Smothered by Bandy. Ricochets towards the middle and Wharf. Wharf kicks it out towards right half forward. Cresswell leads in the race out there. Clement now with Walker. Walker picks it up. Is it left half back? Pops it across to Fletcher. And Fletcher's taken this mark. Adrian Fletcher coming up for his 21st possession. The early going in the third term. What a season he's had. Fletcher stubs it up towards the wing, and Callahan aggressively coming up to meet the ball. Another short one. Too tall that time. Over the head of Norrish. Marked out there by Maxfield. Maxfield sends it back to half forward. Fletcher, a good aerialist, takes the mark.
Just reckon now the Swans have to get this next goal. I mean, this is starting to get a bit of a danger period for the Sydney Swans.
Adrian Fletcher around the outer side. And certainly the confidence we saw from the Swans early is lacking now. You saw some indecision there. Seymour and Matthews undecided who would go for the ball. It's going to be a free kick, is it, to Sydney? Not sure what that's all about. Neither of the players, but Seymour's got it. Comes back to the middle and Kirk. Low down. Unforced error. Problems again. Untidy hand pass. Matthews. The side that routed Adelaide, nowhere to be seen at the moment. Seymour running it up towards the wing has had a bounce. The second one. Interesting hand pass. Okay, Crouch has got it right half forward. Goes looking for Plugger. Or is it Stafford who got in behind him? Stafford spilt the mark in any case. And the ball is tied up about 40 metres out from the Swans attacking goal.
Yeah, it looks like Stafford's playing that second full forward and a leading full forward to stage. Shane Parker's picked him up. With Ryan O'Connor off the ground, Johnny, I'm still having a few problems. Who's rucking here for the Sydney Swans? I can't work it out at this stage.
Crouch a chance. Picked up by Creswell. Throws it on the boot. It's close too. Wait on the goal umpire. I think he's kicked it. He has. Terrific goal.
A very important goal for the Sydney Swans that we just touched on before. They certainly did need that next goal because the game was starting to slip away, even though it's only an early stage of this third quarter. We're looking at Stafford now. He's gone back into the centre bounce here. He certainly was playing down the forward line next to Tony Lockett. It could have been maybe even Troy Luff maybe playing in ruck at that stage of the this third quarter, but that was a goal they certainly needed, with Creswell being picked up by young James Walker.
18 possessions now for Darren Creswell. That's his first goal. The last time these sides played in Perth, he got the top Brownlow votes. Doing very well again tonight. Knows no other way but hard work, hard sustained work. Kelly had the ball surrounded, left it behind eventually. Kirk, Schwass hurriedly, gained about 25 metres. Luff couldn't hang on. Coming in hard was Ship. Comes across to kick it to Ship. Slick. Norrish has got it now at close quarters. Got it to Parker. Parker doesn't mind a run. Storms away from half back. Kicks well inside the attacking 50. Saddington went back with courage. Got a hand to it. Seymour runs onto the loose ball. Heads for the boundary line. And that will do the Swans. They can regroup now. They trail by 8 points, as it was at the half.
Update you on the Dockers bench, Den. McManus and Holland there now, and Bond and Sinclair, who have yet to have a run.
Thanks, Barra. Bandy got a fist to that one. Falls behind. Waterhouse left it behind. Wharf grabs it. Hurried kick down towards half forward. Kelly, brilliant balance. Ship went to ground. Now they've got a problem. Kelly Hart against the boundary line. Kicks inside the 50. Stafford. He's marked about 45 metres out. Sharp angle. Only about 5 metres in from the boundary line.
Yeah, Greg Stafford's taking the centre bounce and then going forward. Troy Luff's gone into the ruck.
Centering kick. Luff almost the one-hander. O'Loughlin feeds it back. Lockett's got it under pressure. The hand pass as a result untidy. Kick it. Well, that was untidy too on Creswell. Meantime, Kirk grabs it, snaps, and hits the post. Creswell a bit stiff not to get a free in there.
Yeah, very unlucky. And as you said, Dougie, both teams moving their ruckman around. Bandy's been taking the ruck bounces for Fremantle, but he's now gone forward. In spite of Burton back on the ground, McManus went off earlier. Burton back on in the ruck. Manning up on Stafford, but they've got to be careful with that switch because Stafford is pushing hard forward and Luff coming up onto the ball.
Fremantle by 7 points. What a transformation. They lost by 114 last Sunday while the Swans were winning by 118. As the kick goes towards the outer side from Parker. Fletcher couldn't hang on. Crouch paddles it towards the line, and that will do.
I just reckon the leg speed of the Dockers tonight have been a lot better than the Sydney Swans. And I think up Damien Drum up his sleeve at the moment. You've got Chris Bonds fairly quick over the ground, and young Jess Sinclair yet to have a run both players and a bit more speed to the into the midfield.
Burton knocked it down in front. Lucas has it now, taken front on by Maxfield. And just thinking about it, I haven't got the record book here, but I'm sure that Fremantle have lost only once in about 6 meetings against Sydney. They have a great record against them. There's the bounce. That's got to be a free kick to Burton, doesn't it? Luff mistiming his jump, and the big fellow very much, I think, playing for his future. The vice captain played in most of the games early on in the season, then really has just fallen away, unsighted, but has come back for the last couple. Wide-eyed there is Ryan O'Connor. He copped a finger in the eye. As the ball comes down towards half forward, Seymour with the judgment takes the mark. Creswell again. He's been terrific. Matthews up towards the wing, kicking down towards half forward. Clever use of the body by Fletcher. Hit the ground running, slips it away to Walker. Walker, that's ambitious. Brilliant tackle by Luff. Creswell. Advantage has been paid now. It's whistled up. It'll come back. And that's always a grey area, but common sense really from umpire Nash.
First mistake tonight by young James Walker's been very good tonight.
Luff. Lockett doing some heavy body work. It falls in front to Black, to Clement, to kick it. He didn't quite get the angle he wanted on that one. It comes out towards the boundary and bounces out of bounds. Almost in a straight line from the man who kicked it. They'll kick it. McManus is on. Klukas goes off. Throw in about 70 metres out from the Swans attacking goal. They trail by 7 points. They can do with a goal right here. Burton juggles it. Tries to hand it across to Prescott. Bolton slaps it goalward. Or was it Luff? It was Luff. Kick it in the road though. This is Norrish. Norrish to midfield. Showing plenty of speed. Kicks inside the 50. The Dockers lead in 2 directions to the ball. Holland has it. Aided by the Shepherd from McManus. Comes back to Bandy now. McManus.
Out of bounds.
Oh, okay. Out of bounds. Well, that was a result the Dockers could have well done without. But careless from Brodie Holland.
Just backed up, obviously trying to get the ball on his boot, must have waved it over the line.
Lost his compass. Keen to make amends. Nix though, knocks it away from Holland. Taken by Crouch. Puts it out towards the wing. O'Loughlin's in front. Clement goes in hard. Trying to force it forward was Kirk. Socket away by Fletcher. Just a brilliant game again tonight from Fletcher. Gets it to Norrish. Upended by Crouch, arriving quickly. And the ball bounces across the line.
In the Sydney Swans forward line at the moment here we are, Norwich trying to get his foot to the ball. Certainly good tackle there by Crouch. Sydney Swans forward line at the moment are the 3 stars. You've got Stafford down in the goal square, Tony Lockett and Paul Kelly kick their goals.
Schwartz from behind. Nothing gained by that. Time remaining till 3/4 time. And the Dockers still lead. Worrying time for Rodney Eade and his coaching staff and the supporters of the Swans. Maxfield the mark, barely 10. Plays on to Schwartz, indecision. Comes back to him. Wayne Schwartz feeds it away to Seymour. Something good may still come of it. Matthews to Creswell. arriving quickly, kick it, but not before the hand pass came to Nix. Bacon square, running back his ship. Will it run on? It does. Sydney get the goal they needed.
Well, that's an excellent kick by Matthew Nix. Just summed up the situation. Had plenty of momentum running hard forward. Saw the open goal square. But good running play. This is where Sydney are at their most dangerous. Once they get that turnover, look at the players streaming forward. Just running in numbers. Nix kicking it from 55 metres out.
Half-back flank too, John. Matthew Nix. He's got the ability to do that. Go forward and kick goals.
Eight, 11, 8, 10. So things tightening up here at the WACA ground. Creswell playing his heart out, dragged down, hurried kick. Kirk, can he control it? He's taken front on by Parker. The umpire lets them play. Walker's hand pass only as far as Stafford. Somehow got through. Kicks inside the 50. Kelly too far under the ball. Runs free at the back. Lockett to Kelly. Kelly from about 35. It's a wayward kick. Terrible effort. Out of bounds on the full.
Shocking kick by Paul Kelly, and good play by big Tony Lockett. The handball was there, and as well as Shepherd was there. Which I think the Lockett players a bit of a sidestep to get out of the way there.
Yeah, they just managed to miss him. And we see Jess Sinclair, as you called it, Dougie.
Bit of pace.
Bit of pace, just that lightning quick. Get him out there and give him a good run.
Clement takes off. Almost a tumble turn on the fence. Now who to? Well, I suppose the option to Fletcher isn't a bad one. Brilliantly done again. He got rid of Crouch. Adrian Fletcher discarded by a few clubs. Kicks it up towards the wing. Callahan running out of space. Tries to go back to Burton. Callahan and Matthews tangle. Close to the line. It's across now.
It's Jason Norris coming off Sinclair. But Adrian Fletcher, just sensational. One-on-one, the way he reads where the ball is, reads how to use his body is just great to watch.
Stafford slaps it back towards the boundary line. Fletcher again in trouble. Kirk knocking it ahead of his body and across the line.
You talk about the Brownlow medal, you know, we were talking about Shane Crawford and the Nathan Buckleys and Matthew Richardson, even maybe Wayne Swass. This man here, Adrian Fletcher, must poll very well for the Dockers. Maybe not enough winning games for them, but certainly we'll get a lot of 2-on-1s.
Burton thumps at Goldwood. Coming up to meet the ball is Bandy across to Walker. Great acceleration by James Walker. Pro being kicked well inside the 50. Modra knocked away by Dunkley. Sinclair just introduced into the game. Comes back towards the middle and Walker. The finish not good. Seymour goes hard on him. Sinclair gets it across to Waterhouse. He concedes some ground. Goes back to Black. Black chips it out wide. Sinclair's got it now. About 60 metres from goal. On for Norrish. Not bad policy. Norrish has made a speedy recovery from knee surgery against Hawthorn round 18, but he's missed some footy. Matthews did well. Got in front, took the mark, drives it to the outer side. Philandia has it now. You get the feeling Sydney have upped the tempo. The stakes are high, they know it. The kick comes down a half forward. O'Loughlin missed it. He's going to get a free kick. Push in the back. O'Loughlin about 75 metres from goal. The behind will tie it up. The goal will give Sydney the lead. Magnificent mark.
Who's that man again?
Fletcher. He has been everywhere on this ground, Adrian Fletcher, coming up for his 34th possession.
His own ball on, hasn't he?
Yes.
Been terrific.
And he won't give it back. Bandy, high towards the wing. Grover, growing in confidence. Sinclair's been busy since coming on. Goes back looking for Grover. It broke down. Maxfield to Bolton. Bolton about 80 metres from goal. Luff in from the side. And that was a courageous and strong mark by Troy Luff.
Yeah, he's certainly capable of that. Just puts himself in a position where he knows if he's the one who has to fly for his team, he'll go for it no matter what the situation. And to hang on to that mark is an outstanding effort.
Very important kick, this one, to regain the lead. This game very much in the balance. Sydney with everything to play for. Luff. I think it's okay. It's a goal. Sydney back in front.
I just reckon Dennis hit on the head before. The last 3 or 4 minutes just feels that the Sydney Swans certainly have lifted their tempo here. Great contest out here. I think it was young Jude Bolton. Sinclair's sort of turnover handball may be very costly here, but the ball into his opponent was Maxwell out to young Jude Bolton. Went directly in line. It was a terrific mark here by Troy Lockett, being used as a ruckman and a pinch goal kicker, and looks like Modge is off the ground at this stage for the Dockers as well.
Yeah, he's got a sore hammy. They're going to check his hamstring. Chris Bond onto the ground.
Modra off then. He's been under a cloud since the week before last with a hamstring, broke down at training. He did run off, but it was only a jog. Less than 6 minutes till three-quarter time. Cresswell again gets it back to Schwass. Schwass goes for distance down towards half forward. What a mark! Luff, a contender for the Cadbury's mark of the year. Split the pack on a great grasp. 65 metres out towards full forward. Lockett works off his man. How will it bounce out of mid-air? Cresswell. Cresswell's kicked a goal.
Well, Sydney just fighting their way back. Done it extremely well this quarter. No doubt Rodney Eade would have really given it to them at half-time, and they've come out and closed down Fremantle. Look at that grab from Troy Luff. He's just throwing his body into those contests now. Strong pair of hands. Cresswell running hard forward. He's been a real hard worker all night. Just ran a long way. Plugger made the contest. Cresswell onto it. Very clever off the ground. Good goal to Sydney.
Well, suddenly this game has been cranked up, and the question hangs in the air. Can the Dockers play at this altitude? Up he goes. Burton missed it. Coming through, storming through with Schwass in the opposite direction though is Kickett. Boots it down towards half forward. Awkward half volley down there. Comes back to Walker, who got it from Burton. Across it comes to Fletcher, and Fletcher was pushed to the back according to the umpire. Kick against Kirk. Adrian Fletcher has received more free kicks in the competition than any other player, and invariably uses the ball brilliantly. Waterhouse now to regain the lead.
Just great use of the football by Fletcher, and we've touched on a few times tonight. He's just been a brilliant player. His opponent's been Darren Creswell, still been a pretty good player. Creswell's had 22 touches and kicked 2 goals. Certainly been a very hard worker for the Sydney Swans.
Waterhouse going at number 4. Lovely kick. Live Waterhouse. Dockers lead.
Well, Johnny, just with Tony Modge off the ground now, might be a bit of a hamstring injury. I mean, Modge has had the 8 kicks and kicked 1 goal. 4 now with Waterhouse. Looked like he might have gone the full forward at this stage with Modge off. Yep. And Seymour's got the job. I think Rowan Moore started on Waterhouse, but he's a type of player when he's flying, he absolutely does fly. And tonight he's been absolutely intriguing the forward line for the Dockers.
2 goals in this term to Clive Waterhouse. 4 on the night. 40 for the season. Already he's equalled his best on this ground. Rucks go at it. Indecisive. Taken high was Crouch. A clash of heads there too. It comes across to Kirk from Creswell. Kirk kicks inside the 50. Clement needed to go back. Don't blame him for not. Lockett was coming up. Kelly charges in. Lockett picks it up. Tries the spin turn. Comes to O'Loughlin. Man dropping back towards the goal line. Not required. O'Loughlin from 40 metres out. Sydney back in front.
Well, this game's coming to life now. Sydney, knowing the desperation of their situation, they want to hang in there, try and get into that 8. Fremantle just trying to make it as tough for Sydney as they can. They've worked extremely well. But a good answering goal to Sydney. Plugger, just outstanding work here. The pick-up, swinging around and still to be able to find his man. O'Loughlin, who's had a pretty quiet night, very good snap in that situation.
Oh, you've got to love this. One of the best terms we've seen at the Wacker. One of the best terms we've seen this season. They're going goal for goal. Fremantle playing for pride, and Sydney playing for a crack at the premiership. Tonight they can wrap up a spot in the top 8. Grover went down. Sinclair trying to crash his way through. Going nowhere. Cresswell. What a game he's played. He's had plenty of the ball, but he's been in and under and battling and tackling tonight. Just an amazing competitor.
He's had 23 possessions, Dennis, and kicked 2 goals. And as we said, he was on Adrian Fletcher early, and he just keeps working very hard. Could be a blood rule here, maybe against Bandy. They did clash heads in the centre bounce, Dennis. You did call that. It was young Jess Sinclair and Daniel Bandy. They did make contact, so that would be the one from the 2 bounces ago. Absolutely
Right, Dougie. Just to update you on Tony Modra, he has tweaked his hammy and he's doing what he can. I don't think we'll see him again. And Peter Philandia has sprained his wrist and is on the bench.
Talking about Creswell, 23 possessions so far. The season's high is 34 twice in the last 2 weeks, rounds 19 and 20, so he's in great form. He might be the man that inspires them to victory, but still a long way to go. Grover dragged down by Schwass. Ball up. There's Bandy.
Well, Fremantle forced to shuffle things around a little bit with Modra coming off. Had to take Ship off Kelly. He was doing a pretty good job on Kelly. He's gone up forward, now standing in the goal square.
Body to body. Stafford knocked it down. Black tried to go through, going nowhere.
You did right there, Johnny, because what's happened now, Kelly has gone forward, and it looks like Chris Bond might be running with him. I'd rather probably turn that around, because Ship, as you said, was very good on poor Kelly. I'd like to see that change probably happen.
Yeah, Kelly and Creswell swapping. Kelly's now come up onto the ball. Creswell going forward where he's kicked those couple of goals.
Sydney by 11 points. Rucks go at it. Wide of the pack. It's thumped forward there by Sinclair. Kirk trying to put his body over the ball. Holland to Walker to Fletcher. Floats it inside the 50. Going back was Wharf. Went to ground eventually. Brilliantly picked up by Taylor. Tries to pull it back. Put the post up high.
Exciting young player, young Taylor. He's just very quick over the ground and a bit unlucky not to kick that goal.
Daniel Bandy about to come back on. Tony Modra with an ice pack on his hamstring now.
Well, they gambled on his fitness, and I suppose had he kicked straight in the opening term, the gamble would have paid off before half-time. As the kick comes in, strong mark is taken in front by Dunkley. Can't he take a mark?
Looks like Waterhouse might have maybe cramp or a hamstring, or he's in trouble. He's on the ground on the mark.
Doesn't look too good, does he? Looks like a cramp.
Well, Dunkley decided not to play on. He kicks it towards the outer side. Kirk has it. Maybe he thought he was foxing. Down towards the 50. Taken here by Lachlan. Feeds it out wide. Kirk has got it. Kirk from 70. Kicks it down towards full forward. Lockett. Over the top of Carroll is marked about 15 metres out of that. Slight angle.
Oh, just too strong there. Carroll, have a look at the look over the shoulder towards the umpire, hoping to,
in the back, please.
hoping to see the signal for in the back, but not that time. Big plugger just had to work hard forward, just trying to get in the best position to take the mark. Carroll looked just like he lost balance, got carried forward a little bit.
Kicked 3 goals, big plugger, so it's been a pretty good return. 3 goals too. Here's Waterhouse back on his feet, so he's okay.
He was foxing. There's Lockett. A flash of cameras around the ground as he kicks his 4th goal.
And that certainly is the case, and his camera flashes going off all around each time Plugger's now having a shot for goal. People over here in Perth have really come out to acknowledge his performance in the game over his career, such a long time. One of the greats. Here he is.
Too strong, Johnny. Too big, too
just
good.
Never going to miss those when he gets his hand on them, and then go back and push it through for goal number 4.
Well, the Swans are grabbing their chances late in this 3rd term, and they've skipped away. They lead by 16 points. Just moments ago, they were going goal for goal. Bucks go at it. Stafford. Kirk juggles it. Well played. Bit slick there for Crouch. Eventually it comes to Kelly. Back to Kirk. He boots it down towards half forward. Reaching over the top, Luff. Rover the crumb. Knocked away by Lewis. Chance for Crouch. Inside the last minute of the term, O'Loughlin soccers off the ground. So too Sinclair. It goes out towards the boundary. Sinclair gets to it just inside the line. Throws it on the boot. High one. Crouch looking to spoil. Did pretty well. Knocked it away from Bandy. It's gone out.
Just Fremantle lost a little bit of their intensity this quarter that they'd picked up through that first half.
Free kick has gone to the Dockers over there. Not sure why. Fletcher took it. As if he needs another one. Went to Parker. To Bond. Up towards the wing. Callaghan is running hard. The kick goes in that direction. He's got it. We're down to 22 seconds. 66 to 82. Callaghan. Waterhouse comes on the lead. He's perfectly okay. He's marked just outside the 50. Now, 10 seconds to go.
Have a shot.
Well, he might have to. He's thinking about going for a short pass. No, he's not. Goes for the spiral instead. It wobbles and wanders and goes through for a behind. Does it on the siren? I think so. Waterhouse gets a behind, and it's three-quarter time.
Yeah, great comeback, Johnny, by the Sydney Swans. It looked like the game was going to slip away there at one stage. The Dockers have been absolutely fantastic, and that man again, just Clyde Waterhouse, Johnny, just saw at the end there, he's kicked 4 goals and have been a very important player in the forward line for the Fremantle Dockers, particularly now with Tony Modra, who's had the 8 kicks with only 1 goal for. Pretty poor return, but he's the man, Waterhouse, down their forward line.
Yeah, he certainly is, and they've had to restructure, but they've done pretty well. They're hanging in there, the Dockers, certainly keeping the pressure up on Sydney, but when Daniel Bandy went off, I was a little bit worried, but they've managed to get him back out there because he has been pretty good as well.
Lockett down the forward line, Johnny's been terrific with his 4 goals as well.
Yeah, he has been. So I think we're set for a pretty good last quarter. Fremantle are really going to have to hang in there pretty tough.
Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Barra. Well, hopefully it is a good last quarter on what we've seen so far. We've come to expect that tonight. A lot of spirit, a lot of energy from both these clubs. And without giving any results away, if Sydney were to lose, big finish next week.
Pretty small forward line, Johnny, here for the Fremantle Dockers at the moment. You've got McManus down there, Waterhouse, Norris, Clucas as well, Young Holland and Ship playing at full forward. So they're opting for a very small forward line, the Dockers.
Just get the feeling if the Dockers can manage the opening goal here, this place will really come alive. Big crowd. Prescott standing alongside the ruckman. Waterhouse, how did he mark that? Like a pheasant plucker. What's this?
It was 15-9, Johnny. It was a ripper. Oh, yeah.
Just keep his eyes on it. That's what he's going to do. Just keep running hard at the footy. Keep his eyes on it. Get the hands up. If he can get 2 hands on it, he'll take his fair share of grabs and well within his range here.
Well, he's a man with Modra off the ground. He's got to kick the goals for him.
Going at number 5. We talked about an early goal. Can he provide it? Not with that kick. Off the hands of Dunkley. Clucas knocked it towards the goal. Well, it's red hot in there. Ship somehow got it out to McManus. Finds some space. Got no purchase on the ball. Matthews goes back across the line. Slung by Shipper behind after all of that. Wow.
Well, we've seen Waterhouse tonight. I mean, he's kicked 4 goals. Probably 3 of his 4 goals have travelled 50-55 metres. Here's McManus.
Yeah, great handball by Andrew Ship. He's very good in that situation, getting his hands off on the ball on the ground and handballing to a teammate who isn't the chance to, in the space, to have a shot at goal.
Matthew next, classy defender. Goes towards the outer side, showing the judgment is Wharf. 14 points the difference. Conversely, if
Dennis,
the Swans can get the opening goal, that could deflate the Dockers as the ball goes towards the outer side and Crouch.
Just going to say, mate, it could have been a very costly kick there by Clyde Waterhouse. They need the first goal in this last term. With 15 points behind. Very important kick.
Crouch rather going for distance down towards half forward. Over the ball is Grover. Cresswell spins out of trouble. Brilliantly done. Releases O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin inside the centre square. Pops it just inside the 50. Stafford with Parker. Stafford well played under the circumstances. Got it back to Lewis to Saddington. Saddington goes off his step and just misses.
Good work by Sydney there. Stafford very smart. Got it back. Lewis getting it out to Saddington. But the Fremantle players kept the pressure on. Made sure that it was always going to be a rush kick for goal. That's the end result, only one behind.
Clement short, Walker, an improving young player, taken high in the draft the season before last at number 6. It's taken a while to develop. Out of defence then, the kick comes from Grover towards the wing. Stafford did well, the tall man in from the side, plays it along in front. Saddington slips it away. James got it to Schwass. What a good kick that was. Pinpoint. O'Loughlin to Crouch. Crouch puts it to Plugger's side. Plugger leads back in the race. Lockett goes to ground, but not before he slipped it back to Kirk. Kirk soccers off the ground and narrowly misses.
Yeah, great vision by Wayne Schwass. That's the thing about Schwatter. When he gets the football, he uses the ball beautifully. And his pass to O'Loughlin over that distance of 40 metres was absolutely spot on.
So the Dockers living on the edge right here. A couple of behinds to the Swans. Margin 16 points. Clement. This is Parker. Parker in 2 minds. Thought about the middle.
Well, Sydney looked like they're allowing that first short kick in.
Prescott played it pretty well, slipped away, found some space from centre half back, drives it through the centre towards half forward. Clucas punched away. Fletcher missed the ball, it came quickly. Sinclair went in, kick it, knocked it forward, taken by Clucas. Clucas the high ball inside the 50. And over the top, Saddington, he was going. Norris has got him. And the umpire insisting that Norris pick up the mark. Well, Sydney very lucky there. It comes out to Matthews. Matthews driving it down towards half forward. Stafford causing problems for the Dockers. Across to Bolton. Great chase there from Walker. As a result, he affected the kick. Carroll's got a problem. Upended by Lockett. Picked up by Lewis. Back to Lockett. Open goal beckons and he's missed.
Just enough pressure from Carroll on Lockett as he went to lay the ball onto his boot. Just see Carroll coming here, and that little push was enough.
Good work by James Walker too there, Johnny. His attack on the play was running forward. I think it might have been Dale Lewis. It was good play by young Walker.
Clement runs away and drives it high towards the outer side. Schwass knocks it away from Prescott. James leads in the race close to the boundary line. Getting there quickly was Bond. Knocking it away is Sinclair. It's across the line.
Not sure about the Dockers when they've gone forward now. They've opted for a very small forward line, and on the last 3 or 4 occasions when they've gone forward, they've just kicked the ball high and long, Johnny. So I just reckon they've probably got to use the ball a little bit better as they go into their forward line.
Luff and Bandy. They fight a draw. Kirk and kick it out of bounds.
If we just have a look at the way they're setting up, Doug, they're all standing in the position where the ball's going to go straight to. Because they've got a small forward line, I think they should try and spread them out, spread Sydney players out, so there's a lot more space to use their pace and run into, kick it into the space.
Bandy, very conscious of Luff, directs this one down, but it's taken by Kirk hurriedly, gains about 25 metres with a kick. How will it bounce? Awkwardly for the first man to arrive, Bolton. Fletcher did brilliantly, gets it across to Clement. Under pressure, goes straight to Kirk. Kirk has a look around, sends it back deep into attack. Oh, that's a good mark, Lockett. What a terrific mark.
Yeah, just the slight difference in the spoiling, or the way he spoils there. You see Parker really just reaching for the football, whereas Carroll has the body contact as well as reaching for the football. And with Plugger, you can't just rely on trying to hit that ball, because once he gets hold of it, he just squeezes the life out of it. You need to have that contact with his shoulder and his body, try and force the ball free.
Only fitting, I guess, the man they came to see, a lot of these people at the WACA ground, with a chance to give the Swans some breathing room here. He's kicking at his 5th, the second of the second half, and it looks pretty good. 5 to Lockett.
Well, Johnny, I think you're spot on. Particularly with Plug, you've got to try and punch his arms, and I think Trent Carroll certainly has done it on a couple of occasions tonight and been a pretty good play down. He got caught out. Great attack by the Sydney Swans player, which is just out of vision then, to put Clement to turn the ball over to Kirk. It's been pretty lively since coming onto the ground into the forward line for the Swans, but when he takes those one grabbers, that just shows that he isn't a little bit of touch at the moment. He kicked 8 last week and 5 again, so it's been a good return over the last 2 weeks for the big fella.
Handy break this one, 23 points now. The Dockers do need the next goal, and reasonably soon. Good bounce. Stafford directs it down to Creswell. Hurriedly gets it across about 15 metres to Schwass, to Kirk, who's been very handy. He's an emerging player. Lockett again. He wants 50. I doubt he'll get it. He's pleading his case. Cowering over umpire Nash. But no 50.
What do you say there, Johnny, you reckon? Pusher?
Oh, yeah, well, he's certainly got the push. Doesn't like to hit the ground that hard, the big fella, but that's a great mark again. And not much Carroll could have done on that occasion. He really gave it everything he could. He was never going to be able to reach the footy, so just had some body contact on Lockett.
Good handball by Swans too.
Fair to say he's never been an umpire's favourite. He's probably
won a Brownlow.
Well, yes.
I never did, Dennis.
Yeah, 1 year was a good year. The umpires liked him 1 year.
I see the parallel, of course. So Lockett from 25 metres out. What's he done? Oh, that tells you, you see. I think he was cursing his luck. Oh, rotten luck. 13-14 to 9-14.
Good play by young Kirk. It was Swans' good quick hands in that midfield to get Kirk clear, and Kirk's kick was right out in front of Plugger, not where he was standing but where he wanted to run to. So it's good play by young Kirk.
He's a fairly harsh judge, old Plugger. I mean, he's kicked a few goals in his time. He's still dirty when he misses those ones.
I was just thinking my dear old mum watching the footy with the volume turned down. There goes the kick from Parker. Straight up the middle. Big leap from Wharf. Prescott goes in. It's always worried me she's got the volume turned down. Schwartz hand passes down towards half forward. Cresswell coming up. Hand passes for support on his knees. James. Kirk again. Well done to Luff, to Lewis. Open goal beckons, and I think he's missed. Well, they've got a good lead, but they could have wrapped this one up now. Kick it coming off. The margin 25 points.
Dennis, and Dale Kickett has some sort of leg injury. I'll check it for you. He's limping at the moment.
I think it was that sore ankle he got in that first quarter. He's obviously tried to play the game out.
Clement, a very long kick. Grover almost the mark. He's been impressive tonight. Lewis pulls it back towards the middle, and Bolton running hard, got across and made it his. Jude Bolton, about 60 metres from goal. Just over 13 minutes till full time. It seems the Swans have done enough. Lockett almost goes after it on the ground. Crouch hit the pack hard. Bond in the opposite direction keeps it going. Holland's hand pass didn't find the boundary line. Chance for Kelly. Eventually Fletcher dragged down by O'Loughlin. Some hard work in there, and the ball is out of bounds.
Dennis, a sore knee for Dale Kickett. He has got a sore ankle, Whoosh as well, but a sore knee has brought him from the ground.
Boundary throw in. 93 plays 68. Creswell straight to Black. Black with the high kick, getting across his Wharf. Dropped it. Still plenty of time to recover. Comes back to the middle. Luff the mark. Wants to go and does. Pulls it down towards full forward. Going across is Parker. Arriving quickly was Lockett. And once he didn't take it cleanly, Shane Parker, he knew he could be in danger. And now he gets 50.
Against Plugger.
Told you they didn't like him.
You know, we're right there, Dennis. A little bit of yapping there by the big fella Tony. I just reckon maybe for the Dockers to get back into this game, maybe with Stafford going into the forward line, maybe put Bandy at centre half forward to give him that mark and option, and put Waterhouse maybe back in the goal square against Seymour.
Rover got it from Parker to Carroll. Carroll on the overlap, the high kick well inside the 50. Waterhouse couldn't complete the mark. Saddington had it a while, feeds it off to Nix. Nix out of his defensive 50 comes wide looking for Kelly. Under the ball, Kelly should have got it free. He was tackled by Bond. Brilliantly picked up though by Black. Goes looking for a player right on the boundary line, Norrish, and it was out of bounds on the full, and that's the right call. So Nix to get the free. Black 27 possessions. He's been busy. Nix looking for Stafford. Behind it's Bond. Well played. Flicked it back, but only as far as Matthews. Cresswell again. Lewis having a good turn. Dale Lewis kicks for space. Out in front of a leading player there, Crouch. Fisted away. Coming through was Kirk. Got it to Bolton. Across to Lewis once more. Chip pass to Luff within scoring range. And this could just about do it if he kicks straight.
Yeah, there it is. Troy Luff has gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone into the ruck now because Stafford has gone into the forward line, and I just think his opponent was Daniel Bandy. Was caught probably 15-20 metres away on that occasion.
And when they make those changes at the right time, it makes it very hard for Bandy to push down there and pick up Luff after he runs up onto the ball, then runs hard forward. Chris Bond.
Skipper's off.
Yeah, looks a bit sore.
Troy Luff going at his second goal. This for a lead of 31 points. Tugs it away to the left. Hasn't got the distance in any case. Reaching over the top is Lockett. Sockers off the ground. Well, Clement got a boot to it. Right on the line. Quick thinking by Lockett.
See what happened here. Pluggo almost got it. Yeah, it looked like he just towed it over. Pulled it back over the line himself. Don't know how, but
Kick towards the outer side. Kirk is there. The longer it's gone, the better he's played.
yeah, he's been getting some good football now, but Sydney so far this quarter really dominating. Getting so much of the football, 38 possessions to the Dockers 18.
Tells a story, Wisha, yeah.
A few injured players who won't be back. Watching things from the Dockers bench as Black gets his 28th possession, pulls it back towards the middle. Grover the big leap, and it's going to be a mark, I think, to Grover. A lot of these players not very gruntled at the moment from the Sydney Swans. Holland. Run the ball up. Black. He's had a bounce. He's on the wing. Pulls it back towards the middle, and Callahan, who takes a good mark, and the umpire was skittled. The umpire was skittled behind play there. Marty Ellis has taken a tumble, but Mark Nash has stepped up. Watch this again.
He got caught right in there. He was just trying to get out of the pack there.
A couple of somersaults and a pipe at the end of that one.
Yeah, it was good umpire. Mark Nash obviously realised that he was caught out of position, so he paid the mark, ran in quickly.
So Taylor's got this ball now as a result of all of that, and will kick it goal from about 40 metres out. Get the feeling it's too little too late. 10 minutes to go. Taylor kicks. And kicks well. No, he's missed. Not by much, but enough to count.
It's pleasant signs tonight, I reckon, for the Dockers. I mean, after last week's performance, they could have certainly, put their heads down and got flogged again. But they've come out tonight and they've played as a team. They've all put their hand up tonight. Every play has been very good for the Dockers.
Schwartz, good mark taken by Crouch from that long kick in.
He's heard Adrian Fletcher going for that mark too. Need him right in that kidney area.
Schwartz has run up from kicking the ball in, goes short to Saddington. Saddington alongside the centre circle, kicks inside the 50. Going back is Luff, with him is Bandy, taken front on by O'Loughlin. Going after it is Luff once more, couldn't move the ball forward. Falling over was Grover, brilliantly done by O'Loughlin. Emerges with the footy, goes in and kicks what could be the sealer. It would seem Sydney are into the finals for sure.
Yeah, sensational solo effort by Michael O'Loughlin there to kick goal number 3 for himself. He's had a pretty tough night tonight. James Clement's done a good job on him. We see here he's just floating around the area, sweeps on the ball, gets through traffic, finds time to straighten up onto his right foot, bangs it through, and Sydney will be pretty pleased with that. He hasn't had the best night, but he's still got 3 goals on the board, which is probably all they really expect from him running into form.
Something out of nothing, John. Oh, yeah.
When it works, it's beautiful, isn't it? Just over 9 minutes to go then. 14-16. Plays 9-15. Stafford hooks it down. Creswell picks it up. The life has gone out of the Dockers now as Lewis runs onto the footy, goes down towards the pocket. Lockett very conscious of Carroll, and the ball bounces across the line.
Luff having a bit of a spell. He's been a pretty good player tonight. He's rotated out the forward, hasn't he, Johnny? He rotated the forward line, gone in the ruck on occasions. Been a good player.
He looks like he's looking forward to a spell too. He's laboured off the ground there.
What?
Philandia on.
Lockett working hard in front. Knocked it down. Holland got it back there from Carroll. Parker, Fletcher going in the wrong direction and going nowhere. The umpire let them play. Schwartz to Creswell, lines up and misses.
Just looking around at the moment, the Dockers have got only one player inside 50. Make that none. Clyde Woodhouse just walked out.
Yeah, again, they're just congregating across that half forward line. They don't, not really
Straight
put
line, isn't it?
a lot of thought into how they can run into that space.
Carroll, floating kick, awkward one to mark, but Lewis makes it look easy. He's marked 55 metres out. Dale Lewis spots a man across the ground, and that's Kirk. And Kirk low down has taken this one about 40 metres from goal.
Been a lively type since coming on the ground. Continuing his good form over the last couple of weeks.
Kelly getting loose now. Well, sad really for the Dockers that they could lose this big time. They're down by 32 points and still 8 minutes to go. So despite all their best endeavours, they need to run it out. Kelly, sharp angle, looks pretty good. That's a lovely kick by the champ. If it's a goal, it is.
Yeah, it's been an interesting night. Darren Creswell with 30 possessions has been a standout for Sydney, and Wayne Schwartz, the only other player, he's snuck up to 20 possessions. The only other player to get more than or 20 possessions or more for Sydney, which is unusual because they're normally such a high possession getting side. The Fremantle have done a fairly good job there, but just in this last quarter, the Sydney players have run away with it.
The Swans, of course, have a very healthy percentage coming into this game. 15-17, 9-15. Creswell to Schwartz. They win it out of the centre square again. Lethargic early, but the longer it's gone, the better they've played. Bolton. Down goes Creswell, run over by Clucas. Down went Fletcher. He's getting a free kick.
He's had 30, this would be 31 possessions and 9 marks. Been outstanding in the centre of the ground.
Black not far behind him, chips it down towards half forward. Nondescript kick really. McManus to Clucas, smothered off the boot. Norrish upended. Crouch was underneath him. And the ball up.
Just watching both sides tonight, I reckon both sides got a half a dozen real good young players. So the future for both clubs with the youngsters look pretty good.
The Dockers hope that's the case. Knocked towards the boundary line by Luff. And out it goes. Wayne Schwartz, 21 possessions by his standards, and they've been lofty this year. Not one of his great games. I mentioned averaging 27. That's incredible. Luff directs it down to the back of the pack. Seymour, good shepherd. Clear the path there for Matthews. Kirk boots it up towards the wing. Creswell, well, how can he find so much space? Kicks towards half forward. It wasn't a great kick. Parker with a chance now to the voice of Bandy. Bandy feeds it back to McManus. It needs a kick. No, he did well in the circumstances. Got it across to Sinclair. Sinclair boots down towards half forward. Seymour, clever mark. He learnt that from Waterhouse. Seemed past him, but he plucked it. This is Wharf. Wharf driving it down towards half forward. Well, that's silly. That's a free kick. They'll go to Maxfield. Undisciplined footy from Jess Sinclair.
Very untidy, wasn't it?
Yeah, just thinks he has to learn. Coach, that's when the coaches should take him aside. He probably knows it, but they've got to wonder what he's thinking in actually attempting that during the game.
Maxfield is centering kick. O'Loughlin had it knocked away by Clement. Luff did pretty well on the ground. Got it across to Bolton, who pulls it back towards full forward. Loose ball at the back. This is Grover. His 20th possession on debut. And he finds the boundary line, does he? No, Kirk kept it in. Well done by Kirk. Goes for a check side. It slides across the face, and Kelly takes the mark in the opposite pocket, outmarking James.
I just think he might play under his left foot here, I reckon.
Where's Plugger? Well, probably not the spot for it. You can see him in the distance in the opposite pocket.
Right foot.
Goes check side and behind. So Sydney running into some form at the right time of the season. We mentioned they'd lost 2 of their previous 3, but they certainly tested both the Kangaroos and the Bombers. Big winners over Adelaide. And some of the players important to them getting a fair bit of the footy now. And I don't think anyone will be queuing up to play them in the finals. This is Sinclair. Off a step to Clucas. 108 to 69. 5 minutes to go. Crowd over 25,000 tonight. 25,022. Norrish drives it towards the outer side. Callahan. Improved game from him tonight too. Hooks it down towards the pocket. Seymour comes up and just deflects it with his bicep across the boundary line. Burton was back on.
Yeah, just this quarter, Kirk's had 9 possessions, Lewis has had 8, and Creswell's had 8. They're the 3 players certainly have generated a lot of run, particularly up in the midfield for the Sydney Swans. Just touching on Wayne Swass, 21 touches. His opponent's been Prescott, has been very good with 14 touches as well.
McManus's kick is marked by Matthews, who wants to go. And this will be interesting. What will umpire Nash do here? Common sense prevails. Matthews right on the edge there. Well, he seemed to be going actually, but what can an umpire do there? Not much margin for him. Either it's holding the ball or he played on, or 50. He decided to do the common sense thing. Taken high was Lewis, and he'll get the free kick. Dale Lewis.
Running some good form at the moment, Dale Lewis. He just at the moment looking at his stats, he's had 12 and 3. He's had 8 possessions in this last quarter out of his 12. Well, I'm not saying he's 12 kicks, but he's had the 15 possessions. He's had 8 in the last quarter.
Clever player, very talented player. Now Philandia played the advantage, breaks away, centering kick to Luff. Too tall for Luff. Burton goes after it. Hand passes down towards half forward. It goes towards the boundary line. Gathered by Shipp, and the only man he can see when he looked up was Burton, so he decided, well, I'll have a swing at it, but I hope I miss it. Off the ground by Luff. Burton's got it again. They battle after it between his legs. Burton emerges with the footy, breaks away from Spider, close to the boundary line. That was rather crude by Fletcher, and the ball will come back. It'll be a Swans free on the wing.
Might have been Black,
was it Black, was it? Yeah, it was.
I thought it was Fletcher too. It was very hard to pick up. Bit late.
Yep, so Philandia's got it. Kicks inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Fletcher.
She must go close to 3 votes, wish her.
You go close, Dougie.
I'm trying to influence you.
Finds Bandy. Bandy on the wing with the clock running down. Short passes to half forward, and the mark is taken by Callahan. Craig Callahan coming up for his 17th possession. And the umpire wants a word.
Just a warning. Yep. That's good umpiring. Just settle him down.
Yep.
Callahan really only reacting to being held on a bit longer.
Callahan out of the centre square. High ball. Out of the pack, a half chance for Black. Still he goes. Strong tackle by Kirk. Black gets it to Waterhouse deep in the pocket. What can he conjure here, Clive? Misses narrowly. Men on in the middle, so maybe that was the place to go. But Waterhouse, an opportunist. When it comes off, he looks great.
He's been lively down there forward line. He's kicked 4 goals, 3, and been a very dangerous player. Particularly as we've just touched on before about Tony Modra being off the ground. Modra's had the 8 kicks and kicked 1 goal. First quarter could have kicked 3 or 4 goals, Tony Modra.
Matthew Nix. 48 points the margin then. He comes looking for Stafford, reaching over the top. Burton defiantly thumps it away. It's out of bounds.
Dennis, Rodney Eade's resting some of his stars. Darren Creswell's come off the ground and looks fairly sore, but having a rest now.
Thanks, Barra. He's earned a rest, Darren Creswell. Burton and Stafford. Clucas couldn't control it. Fletcher close to the boundary line. Clucas taken high. We'll get the free. About 75 metres out. So the Dockers fans can take some heart. The Sydney fans know their team is going to the finals. Matthew Clucas taking plenty of time. Goes for distance, just setting it up. Where's Waterhouse? Didn't compete as it turned out, but he's got the footy. Dragged off it though. Comes to Shipp, gets it across to Norrish. Norrish goes with the outside of the boot, and that's a very good effort.
Another very good effort by Norwich, and as I said earlier, Dougie, Andrew Shipp just so impressed with him when he gets the ball in those situations. Doesn't panic, tends to always find a teammate. We watched just with the contest, Spider Burton pushed out of it. Shipp here picks it up under pressure, just gets a good little handball out to Norwich, who had enough space to get the ball on his boot. And he didn't let him down. Good snap, just off the outside of the boot, slammed it through.
15-18 plays 10-60 in the dying minutes here at the WACA ground. Stafford chases a bad bounce. McManus came up brandishing the footy. Burton socked away though by Crouch down towards half forward. Philandia comes back to Kirk. Kirk for space and Kelly cleared the man. Coming up behind him is O'Loughlin. Clement played it pretty well, and again O'Loughlin under real pressure despite the scoreboard and despite the time. It's out of bounds, and O'Loughlin is slow to get up.
Great tackling there by James Clement. Then two cracks at O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin tried to step him with clever play, but Clement was equal to the challenge, and two good tackles by him.
Luff backhands it down only as far as Walker. Walker kicks it up towards the wing. Matthews feeds it across to Stafford, to Nix. Generally uses the ball pretty well. Looking for Lockett, and that's a great grab. Fine mark under real pressure there. And watching him last week and again tonight, he hasn't lost an awful lot. He's taking some very strong marks.
Well, he's still fairly quick over that 5 metres in for the size of him, and 8 goals last week, a return of 5, could be 6. So his 2 weeks have been terrific for the Sydney Swans.
Football icon. I suppose he's right up there with Williams and Healy and Kelly as men who have made a major contribution to Sydney's football. This kick is offline. Behind.
He's kicked 5 goals, 5. So he's had the 10 shots at goal, and he's had the 12 kicks, 4 handballs and 9 marks. Been a great play down there for the Swans.
Parker. Short, awkward half volley. Prescott goes wide. Clement, as a resolute defender as Clement, hugs the boundary line with a kick. And Sinclair's got it now. Comes back towards the middle and Parker. Parker forward of half back. Kicks towards the middle. Alongside the centre circle, McManus has got it. Inside the last minute, McManus down towards left half forward. Rover. Like his debut, he's going to get a free kick. That's not bad on debut, is it? 21 possessions.
He's taken 6 marks and applied 2 or 3 tackles. It's been a good debut by young Grover.
Off the rookie list from Subiaco. Anthony Grover kicks inside the 50. Where's Clive? Up he goes. Couldn't hang on. Lewis puts it across to Wharf. He'll make a great docker. He kicks it up towards the wing. There's a chance for Nix. Now Maxfield's away. 20 seconds to go. Maxfield, long kick down towards the attacking 50. Bounces once. Comes back towards Lockett. Prescott wants to take it out and succeeds. So just about the last action right there. 109 to 76. And Lockett with 5 goals has done enough for the people who came along to celebrate his last visit as a player to this city. Burton comes over the top. Down to McManus. Tumbles a kick in towards centre field. Wait for the siren. And Sydney have done it. They needed to win to guarantee themselves a spot in the finals. And they've done that tonight. Tony Lockett with 5 goals. Could have finished with quite a few more. And he's still going to be a force come finals time. Paul Kelly had his moments too, shaking hands with Adrian Fletcher, who was just wonderful tonight. And Fletcher, such a contradiction when you think about this man bouncing around the league, discarded by 3 clubs before he finished up at Fremantle. And what an impact he's having. 2 Warriors right there. Darren Creswell comes across. A couple of Tasmanians. Darren Creswell saw plenty of the ball tonight too. He finished with 32 possessions, which is about on par with his season.
Plus 2 goals, Dennis, which is very handy for a midfielder to get down there and finish off.
It'd be fair to say tonight, I think Damien Drummond pretty happy, even though they didn't get the 4 points, but the commitment in their attack on the footy tonight was very, very good.
We talk about Warriors. Well, a couple of goal kickers. Have a word for each other there. Tony Modra, who spent the best part of the second half on the bench, came in under a cloud. Let's go down and listen to the thoughts of Tony Lockett. Here he is with Adrian Barrage.
Thanks, Dennis. Yes, Tony, I guess a good way to say goodbye to Perth.
Yeah, well, we come over here, we had to win. A bit disappointing in the second quarter, but I think you know, we really put our heads down, and it was pretty good last half, so we're pretty happy with that. It's pretty hard to come over here and win, so to win by 30-odd points is pretty good.
Good on you, mate. The crowd turned out for you tonight. There's a banner behind you going up at the moment. Fantastic. All around Australia, they love you.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate. But no, look, it's yeah, I guess this will be my last game here. It's always good to come over to Perth. It's a great ground here, the Wacker, and yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it over the years.
You've always been a team man. You've secured a place in the 8 now. That's so important. Anything can happen from here.
You never know, mate. Yeah, looks like we're going to be in there now. So finals a different game of footy, and we're all looking forward to it.
Tony, thanks for the memories. On behalf of Perth, congratulations, mate, and good luck at the finals.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
5 goals to Tony Lockett, and Sydney get home by 32 points. And that's a nice touch from the Dockers cheer squad. Farewell plugger. The Dockers salute a champion. Rarely see this. A moment to savour as Tony Lockett leads his Swans teammates off the ground.
To show anything before the game, Dougie's, I think, fair enough there. They've put it up on behalf of the Dockers and the Perth crowd just to farewell him.
The white, honour the name by day and by night. Lift that noble banner high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. Whether the odds be great or be small, Swans will go in and win overall. What a loyal Sons are marching.